matter so early in the season as well. It's a new meta. It's a fresh drafting pattern.
Ich sage, MCore implodiert, Fnatic sneakt sich zu Worlds. Wer sagt was dagegen? Wer? Niemand? Gut.
KC chose second pick. Not something we see too often, although at MSI some teams were picking blue side, likely for the easier access towards the Baron pit. They're going to ban away the Cassio and the Nocturne.
SK geht zu Worlds, ja, oder?
For G2. Lock and Orianna taken away by KC.
Yeah, I mean, lock ban makes sense. Caps didn't have the greatest.
Sie Self-Band inzwischen, ne? Nee, warte mal. Wait. KC-Band. Wait. Gestern hat G2 Self-Band. Will kein Team spielen? Oder kein Team wieder dagegen spielen? Kann auch sein.
G2 has secured the Jarvan first pick. Also a very powerful pick. We saw it the other game in MCore vs Vitality. Didn't have the best performance, but with the meta so full of these mages, Jarvan is just almost guaranteed to find some.
Lee Sin ist gut, Nafiri ist gut. Mag beides.
You love to be playing the Jarvan. Lee Sin is often seen as an answer to it. Also one of the best junglers on the patch. Camille still up. Don't really want to be the first team to pick Camille unless you can ban away the Leona in the Shen.
Yeah.
Wir picken keine, also wenn, dann Camille auf 3. Hier könnte Camille kommen.
So picking up the Camille on the third pick on the red side is really the jackpot. So we kind of want to see if G2 want to break that. You can either blind the Shen or the Leona here if you want to deny that pick, or if you're feeling really bold, you can take the Camille away yourself, as they have secured Victor for Yehu. We've seen this pick usually be Victor or Cassio.
Ja, Perk sollte noch Worlds mit G2, ja.
They have opted for the Victor, a champion that both Kalist and Yehu likes to play.
Exactly, can still go down towards the bottom side. We'll see if we stick towards the AD carries or whether we have those mages in bot lane.
Nicht Camille, G2, nicht Camille, nicht Camille, nicht Camille.
G2 now having that thought session. It's like, oh, do we want to pick the Camille? No, instead we'll just pick Camille's counter the Leona, meaning the KC are unlikely.
Gut, jetzt kannst du halt Antwort entweder Ding gehen, du kannst entweder Alistar oder du gehst für Shen als Support oder du gehst in Jace, okay.
Now that does mean that you can get counterpicked in the Leona, you've just blind picked your support, but KC, Jace is open, their top winner name is Kim Kana, they're gonna lock that.
Exactly, they'll have the Jace for top lane and can ban out the Yorick, which is the most often seen counter for it.
I will say, I did see yesterday though that they played Jace AD carry over in the LCS.
That they did, Berserker, I want to say,
exactly,
brought that one out.
Leona Gaming, another really strong team as we have seen internationally, so not gonna lock in it for Kana, but when you have Kana on your team, you kind of want to give him the Jace.
Yeah, and often you ban out the Olaf and the Yorick as your two bans if you're going to do that to make sure that you just get to continually push in that lane, get a lot of pressure down. You're also not at risk of something like a Nocturne because jungler's already picked for G2. There is the risk of something like a Rise, but then you need a heavy physical.
Sehr geile Comp bisher bei G2, also sehr viel Access, sehr viel reingehen.
Now you have the option, you can either try to target one of the flex positions that Victor is covering, but most likely you're going to double ban support. Things that come to mind is the Rel, is the Alistar, things that do well into Leona in isolation. You could also ban a Camille if
es ist Poke Jace, der gespielt wird auf AD, wenn AD gespielt wird.
To try to target out those somewhat good answers into Leona.
Interesting to see KC not go for the Yorick ban, instead just deciding they want to get rid of the Ezreal. Does open that up for G2. They're now thinking about, as you say, whether they want to get rid of that Camille. Still looking for bot sides, bot laners, in fact, for both these teams, unless the Syndra is flexed for Hans Summer and bot G2.
But I think if you ban an AD or a mid, you're kind of just throwing a ban away because you don't know where that Victor is going anyway. So it makes so much more sense just to ban a support. But I'm going to hold that thought because they just banned Six, which makes, to me, not a lot of sense, but I think maybe it's just such a strong mage in the bot lane, gives so much more push, because that is something that we've seen sometimes lacking when you have these mage combos. It's difficult to get these objectives down.
Boah, ich mag Alistar vielleicht ein bisschen, obwohl alles dagegen Syndra ist horrible.
You just immediately satchel it. Usually that's what you have an AD carry for. They rattle out a few shots at the turret and take it down. KC looking towards them.
Nami.
Gonna leave that flex mid AD carry.
Rennen zu Leona.
Gonna be Rel as the
Bin ich neutral?
this Leona bot lane.
I mean, it's just an engage versus engage bot lane matchup.
Ja, als Blindpick, ne? Weil der Victor kann natürlich Botlane sein. Hat Kalist auch schon gezeigt.
They're basically here to do the same thing. They want to engage, they want to pick people off with their CC. And I don't think the bot lane matchup is gonna be the defining factor of this game. It's most likely gonna be decided around that mid, around that jungle, where the fights will take shape.
Ari is going to be the lock for G2, so they will be putting caps on that. Syndra will be going bot in the hands of Sama. We've already seen him bring it out once this week.
Speaking of things we've seen, also the K'Sante for Broken Blade had a pretty good K'Sante game against the Jace of Nako the other day. Matchup that Jace is slightly winning, but K'Sante, of course, is just there to fortify both to the top lane and just scale up.
It seems like KC are looking towards following up on this dive that they have with the Lee Sin and with the Rel in the form of a Kai'Sa. And there's not a huge amount of poke AD carries left for them, which is where my mind would go. It's like, oh, you could get an Ezreal, you could get the Ziggs. But actually, they're going to flip it over to the Sylas bot lane.
Nein, es ist Sylas Mitte. Also, es ist Sylas Mitte. Es ist Sylas Mitte, 100%. Also, die Sache ist hier. Super Snowball-Game, oder? Aber sie haben sehr, also G2 hat extrem viele Pick-Tools. Snowball-Game. Super Snowball-Game.
Dashing around just adds more dashes to an already dasher champion.
And also you have the Solar Flare to steal, you have the Cataclysm to steal, you have the Unleashed Power not as good, and the All Out not as good, but still.
Well, he's eating pretty good. It's a pretty fine steak.
Having a pretty nice time. Yeah, who will be on that Sylas mid lane. So, we have physical damage on top jungle for KC, and then magic damage all the way down through mid.
Back in 3 Gold Vitality.
G2, they don't have a lot of physical damage though, it's only the Jarvan.
You know, there are many, many places you could gaze your eyes upon this game, but it's gonna come down to mid.
Yeah.
In this day and age, you have caps on Ari versus Yehu on Sylas. Those supports are going mid. Those junglers are going mid. That will be the battlefield of this game.
Ich glaube, der KC-Draft ist sehr schwer zu spielen.
Suddenly when Sylas can't dash in and trade aggressively into Ari, he's just slowly falling behind. And just for good measure, we have a pause.
Yeah, the crowd is quite loud.
Ich glaube, der KC-Draft ist sehr schwer zu spielen.
Hear the game, which is something I've been doing while we've been talking as well. So no surprises at all that they need a couple of moments just to make sure that they can hear. It's the loudest the crowd has been throughout this weekend. And maybe we just give them a moment, actually.
Cool. Ist sehr cool mit den Lichtern.
Man, French crowds are something else.
I mean,
French crowds are something else.
It's just magical, and the stage is really being set right now. This means so much for KC, who has always been shut down by G2 in the end. They did get that final 2025 winter, but since then G2 really has had the upper hand whenever these teams meet.
Yeah, last two finals, G2 favored a reverse sweep in spring finals as well. Can't forget that.
Ja, erneut, also der Draft von KC ist nicht leicht zu spielen und das ist meistens kein gutes Ding in der EU. Straight up, das ist meistens nichts Gutes.
You know, it's week 1 of the LEC Summer Split. We have a long way still to go. We'll see all these teams play through the rest of it. Coming out of week 1, having taken down the other top team, having taken down MCoy, having taken down Vitality, it's just a massive feather in your cap going through the rest of the split.
It is. I mean, it's crazy. You sometimes forget that it's week 1 and how hyped the games are, how much it means for everyone, and how much passion you see here on this arena. Is it still just a game 1?
This isn't even a game 1. This is like the break before game 1 of the regular season. A few audio adjustments obviously needing to be made. I want to talk a little bit about Caps on this army, though. He had an incredible performance against Fiesta. Did fall down in the early game, but ended up going 15-2, getting almost 5.
No Gamba, lief schon. Hast du verpasst.
Many pages in his Magi Stats game, completely tearing it up. And I feel like it's such a Caps champion. Whenever he picks the Ari, I just feel like it seems like G2 is gonna win. He always finds these charms, he finds these wacky roam timers, he finds these flanks that just set up G2, and I think that's really what Caps is the best at. It's just setting up his team in the fights. Yeah. I think about the Annie that flashed on MCoy in the mid-wave so many times, bringing them back into that game, why they won that series. Or champions like the Ari, where he can just take over the fights with his CC and damage and skill alone.
And on the other side of the red, KC have had a slightly easier route really through the weekend. 2-0-2-0.
Hier steht's 0-0.
Lose a game to MCoy, and although I think the Vitality series for KC felt like they were settling in.
Yeah.
There were some turbulent times. They in the game two, they ended up falling a little bit behind. Kazi started to get fed. Naka was pretty fed on the Kasante, but they were able to fight back. Their team fighting continues to impress. And Kalist as well has continued to impress. I think MSI was bad for Kalist. Yeah. He had a very poor performance, but after EWC and now the first couple of days of LEC summer, he's really stepped up again.
I mean, Kalist really feels like he's finally kind of...
Was sagen wir zu Bro Words der Name? Ja, wird nicht passieren, aber wäre cool. Für die Storyline, damit sie da rausbombt werden in die Gruppe.
And for a time there, it felt like he came out so strong, won the split in his first, won the split in his first ever split. But then we didn't see that much from him that year. But now he's really feels like he's starting to lead the team, push his own opinions more, and have such a strong.
Ja, doch passen da, yes sir.
And we have to see if that continues. Like, we have a couple of weeks of data to go off, right? That's all we're pondering about right now as the crowd continues.
Das ist der einzige Downside an diesen Roadshows, dass halt immer Tech-Pausen, immer.
For a couple of moments because the noise in here is deafening, to say the least. So they need to make sure that they can hear their game sounds, they can hear their cues. I know there's a lot of pro players that play without sounds.
No, I can never do that.
Yeah, same. I'm very much I need to hear the game to be able to play well, and I don't even play that well.
To me, I think I react more to the vocal cues of abilities than actual visual of it.
Yeah.
Like when I played against Casio top, for example, I feel like I've heard her cue, the little circle on the ground you need to dodge, before I actually saw it. So definitely depends from person to person what is faster, your eyes or your ears. I guess my ears were a little bit faster, which doesn't make sense because light travels further.
Yes, but if you're wearing headphones, the sound is automatically right next to your ears,
so
right?
Close, yeah.
I play much better wearing headphones than I do not wearing headphones.
That's true.
I
think so too. I think I'm the same.
Maybe, I mean, there's also probably a psychological effect of I'm more locked in when I have my headphones in.
The headphones means game time.
Yes, exactly, for sure. It does look like we have all of our audios adjusted. We are ready to get into game one of this best of three between KC and G2 to see who gets to crown themselves the Kings of Paris. Who is the top dog going into week 2 of the LEC? Let's go on to Summoner's Rift.
Oh, baby, I'm excited. I'm so excited. We have been waiting all weekend for the showdown between these two teams. It's going to be such a bloody game. I want to reiterate, I think mid lane is going to be everything. In this Ari versus Silas matchup, I think back to that game where where Faker played against Trophy Worlds, when he made that play where he just took the ult and just all in.
Skimon gonna hold damage on Yike. Yahoo was waiting around the corner here. Skimon puts down the wall. They're just trying to force Yike away a little bit.
I mean, that's a big chunk of Yike's HP. Might have to adjust his pathing. Still will start Raptors.
Sehr gut, Botlane Level 1 gespottet. Eine Potion Instant, das heißt Trades passen.
He can put some damage down onto BB as he walks around and gets a couple of autos. Damage traded across the way. Yike starting without the pot means that he is a little bit lower on his jungle clear.
Potion ist egal, der macht 3 Camp Space. Ist egal.
Goes for the stun onto Lucio. We'll see who secures push here. Kalist steps forward from the sphere, dodges the Hansama's Q.
Grasp J ist gut, sehr gut für Lane, ja.
It's so important.
It's so close. The Hexagon Ray comes down. Hansama will have that Dark Sphere up. Lucio looks for the crash down, has the shield as well, so can stay around, uses the heal to try and continue getting this push in. Kalist walks forward with an auto attack. The Oracles will clear out the ward as Caps and Yahoo trade in the mid.
Interessant, Caps spielt nicht mit Ignite. Na, normalerweise sehen wir da Aris Ignite mitnehmen für das Matchup, damit es eben sehr stompy sein kann. Falsche Bocke.
Have to back off just a little bit.
Yeah, I love the patience on Hansama in that trade, just waiting for the rel W, looking out for it, and the moment that ability is out, he pushes his advantage. But right now, Kana is pushing his advantage on top. This is a tough matchup, especially before BB gets his shield ability, so he can kind of sustain and block a little bit of the poke that Jace is putting out. Handed back to bot. Scatter the Weak comes out onto Kalist.
It's all about push. It's all about push. I wonder if we'll see these supports unleashed on the map after the first reset. Often supports open mid anyway, even before we had this new supports are just everywhere on the map sort of playstyle. I'm wondering, you say it's all about mid. I have to agree. After the first clears, wouldn't be surprised at all if we see jungle support just going towards mid lane, trying to get Caps ahead, trying to get Yahoo ahead, because it is so important to get these mobile mid laners out on the map. As the Zenflame comes down, Kalista is going to get stunned up.
Nice
Crash
trade.
down as well. It's a great
Richtig
trade.
nicer Trade.
Exhausted maybe a little bit too much. Does burn the flash.
Labrov hat Exhaust dabei. Auch interessant für wen?
Wants to reset after this wave. He can get back in.
Silas?
On the Yehu as well. Really good trading from G2.
Wen haben wir Exhaust dabei?
I just love the patience on Hansama, the way he's piloting.
Oh mein Gott, okay, Level Up.
He dashes back
Oh,
in.
großer Gott.
The minions, will it be enough?
Q-Flash.
Yes,
Not
Q-Flash.
expecting the level up.
Oh, he got minion blocked.
BB had the
Oh, Level Up war Klatsch.
drop, tries to get the Zenith wave, but doesn't connect.
Und das war nicht Klatsch.
Gravity field goes down. In the end, LeBron unable to find purchase in the fight.
And Broken Blade is so mischievous, not just in-game, but out-of-game as well with the walkout. He knew he was hitting 4 on that minion.
Auch nice Try von Kanna.
There's Kana to dive him, gets the
Super
flash
nice try
out.
von Kanna.
And now, suddenly, BB gets double cloth armor, has the flash advantage. This Jace matchup is not going to be as one-sided as it has been.
Interesting, Busio actually stayed around here. Fake to recall and stayed in that bottom bush. Hans Summit is respecting it. He also cancelled his recall to catch this wave that's coming in. I was wondering if Hans Summit would recall then TP to this wave to try and get the counter push onto Kalist. But Busio was spotted on that wall that Hans had in the bush.
I mean, staying is all nice and fine as long as you don't get dove.
Yeah,
He needs to
exactly.
be a little bit careful, don't get hit by too many lasers. Maybe he's looking for a specific kind of buy. Maybe he wants the Fated Ashes. Maybe he wants a Lost Chapter. Tries to squeeze as much gold as he can before his first TP.
And that's why Labrov, after opening mid, immediately was like, I'm coming down towards the bottom side. Let's make sure that Hans Summit is safe, that you can catch this wave without too much peril. And he's going
Also sein LCS.
Hans not using the TP though. Next wave is
Aus den Ultra beim letzten Mal. Sein Victor war ich kein Freund von.
easier for him. He's just going to back off this. Shouldn't be too much of a cost.
I just got a flashback from Hansama showing me a Syndra bot trick, because he played this when I was in a team with him in 2020, where he would pick up a minion of the last wave, walk up in the wave and just recall. And so the next wave that would come, he would leave one of the minions from the prior wave, and it would be a 7 minion wave against the 6 minion wave, and they would just push into him.
Yeah, you can get it to sack towards you pretty nicely. Hans Summit actually 4-1 all time on this Syndra.
Yeah, I remember his Syndra was really good when I played with him. I forgot about it completely, but it's actually one of his older mages that
Ich glaube, Team Liquid gewinnt heute.
Very comfortable on the pick. 5 minutes in, no first blood yet, as Labrov is still in the bottom side. That was Skumon backing towards this bush. Placed the ward down, and Yike and Busio were spotted out. Kalist has no flash here. Zenith played. Oh, close.
Nice try.
Almost clips the heels of that. Victor Yehu goes in with the Absconder ducked. Caps with a good charm stops him in his tracks. Spirit Rush stolen away. Caps has one of his own. It will just be an exchange of those ultimates in mid.
Yeah, it's just gonna be an ult trade. I think Yehu's still playing very well, very aggressive in this lane. Caps mana is running a little bit low. Might need some assistance to get a wave push out, unless he can get it with his last 2 Spirit Rushes.
We'll see if he can.
Geht's gut selbst. Silber auch gut, hoffentlich.
Down. Is stunned up by it. Labrov just wants to get this minion wave shoved in.
Labrov Base öffnet Topside, maybe.
In the bot side.
Kleinen cheeky Gang auf Kanna.
5 Kalist, probably gonna pick up a few of
Um das
these.
Geld das hinein für Opsi, habe ich auch nie behauptet.
Small lead brewing for the G2 bot lane.
And it's ever so slight. Everything in this game so far is ever so slight. There's a small lead for Kana, a small lead for Skumon, a very small lead for Caps. But we're still within 200 gold, within touching distance as we get towards that 6-minute mark. Skumon here will be able to get the first respawn of the crabs.
I've heard that it's more important than the Nexus by
Yeah.
some junglers. They're very vocal about the importance.
Blabber has taught us that. Learned it from Kanavi as well. As the charm is going to land. Yehu eats that. And with Labrov going in.
Also, wenn wir hier eine Leona-Ulti abgeben für Grubbies, ist es nicht gut.
End up being a little bit careful there. Tiania on the
Yeah,
mid.
not Kanavi.
Yeah. But this is kind of where you're a little bit scared if you're G2, because no ult on Caps. Yeah, ult is coming back up, and if Labrovius shows himself
Ja.
mid, he can pick up the solar flare, and
Ja.
suddenly Caps is the one in danger. So
Leona-Ulti ist komplett okay für den Herald Fight.
3v3 2v2 has to be respected, as Busio has snuck up behind Hansama. Don't think
Shattering
there's
strike
anything
with the
here.
sun. It's a crash down. It's to stop. It's just tempo play,
Yeah.
right? That Hans can't recall easily. Busio gets the stun, but
It's being a nuisance,
Yeah, exactly.
if anything. Which I think is a very important skill to have in League of Legends.
especially as a support,
Yeah.
because you do have a little bit more time to be the thorn in your opponent's side than other roles. Don't have to focus on CSing, so you just walk up, you ignite someone, make them use their barrier.
Yeah.
If they don't, their recall stop for a few seconds. Yeah, it's quite a nice play overall.
Being annoying in-game has a lot of implications. I think
Right, so let's talk about the next couple of minutes, right? Because it's been a very even early game. We haven't seen the supports around on the map much. We do have a Drake, and we have 3 Grubs. Are we expecting just a standard trade between the two?
I think I'm expecting a play mid first. I think both right now mid lane is very even. Both mid lanes are contesting push, and the waves are not really going in a direction. And I think the moment Scuman is done with his second full clear or third full clear, he is gonna try to show up mid and try to impact this matchup, because as I said, whoever gets ahead first in his mid matchup is the one that's gonna run away with the game.
There's the stolen Solar Flare. Caps does have the Spirit Rush backup though, so he has that tool in his arsenal to escape the power of the sun. Busio coming from the side as well.
Be really careful with the flash shattering striker from Busio. It could be lethal if that connects onto Caps.
Also jetzt die Ari-Ulti wieder ab. Das heißt, jetzt für einen Skirmish finde ich das gar nicht so verkehrt. Je nachdem, also Leon-Ulti, wenn sie 2 Mann trifft, also wenn die Klaute Leon-Ulti 2 Mann trifft, ist natürlich stärker, aber ansonsten würde ich da eher die Ari-Ulti haben wollen.
We see then KC reacting and saying, okay, let's move up Kalist from the bottom side. Let's try and secure this bot side river and perhaps look for a dragon. They decide against going for the neutral, but they might do it now that Yike has finished his blue buff.
It's just going to be a trade. Maybe Scuman has the time to walk down here afterwards. He just finished the grubs. But then again, he could just recall, take the tempo advantage, open up from base, and then he has an additional play.
He could look top.
He is looking top. Kana Flash is back up.
He's got no TP.
Aber es ist Low FPS schon wieder.
Reicht.
Guter All-Out. Flash, oder? Der ist tot, der ist tot, der ist tot, der ist tot. Der ist tot, der muss immer flashen. Sehr schön. Geil gesetupt.
Did look for the engage with the Solar Flare, but couldn't find as much as he wanted.
And it's very good. I mean, when the third and Tofu strike connected, Kana was pretty much dead.
Yeah.
It's not easy to hit the third Q because it's just so telegraphed. So really well aimed by Broken Blade. Catches Kana off guard. Then used Cuban was topside, and Kana just didn't play far back enough to respect that potential gank. And he gets punished for it.
Just a bit over ego. And now Broken Blade has almost a 700 gold lead in the top lane. He's neutralized this Jace really well. Later on, of course, Jace will still do a ton of damage if he can land poke on Syndra.
Sehr, sehr geiles Setup.
But the rest of the team
Gut gefunden von Bibi.
Down too quickly.
Yeah, I mean, this matchup is really annoying for the Jace because you kind of need to rush this with these boots to kind of go out of this Tofu strike chain. But that means you delay your first big armor pen item so much. You're not going to get that U-Moose or Voltaic, whatever you're buying, very fast. So the Cassandra just kind of becomes immovable because you're forced to put 1,000 of your gold.
10 CS, die doch Bot auch. Sexy.
One more minion to get to level 6. Kalist does eat the force of
Wow, geiles Movement von Hans. Flash Ulti. Ja, ist tot. Nicht tot. Wow, das reicht nicht. Aber nice try.
The Comet didn't connect. If the Comet connected,
Nice try, nice try.
They would actually perish. And has also, once again, the Swifties shoots. Oh, that laser went the wrong direction. He's gonna Death Storm this way.
Yeah, puts the Arcane Storm down, clears it out. Should be fine.
Arcane Storm, very nice. They're correcting me, but you said
man, they all changed. Like Chaos Ray is now Hextech Ray. Chaos Storm is now Arcane Storm. You had the whole Arcane crossover.
I really should set their own name, but
I mean, Rat-a-tat-tat has been spray and pray and Rat-a-tat-tat.
Value irgendwas hat einen tieferen Sinn? Nein, das ist einfach nur ein Bug auf diesem Patch, dass du nicht die 30 Gold siehst, wenn du einen Wardler hast. Das ist einfach nur Value Gold. Ja, ein Bug. Normalerweise steht da eben diese 30 Gold, die du von Wards bekommst.
Blackfire Torch now completed for Hans Summer. Sundered Sky as well on Skumon. On the other side, we only have the Sundered Sky as of yet. The small gold lead that Hans Summer has accrued means that he was able to complete his first item before Kalist.
I want to see if they can re-attack this top here. You see already Hansama opening behind Broken Blade. Kana doesn't have flash. Human is walking behind. I think Busio might be a little bit late, but they are not unaware that this might happen.
Yeah, so many pings coming out from KC realizing that this was a possibility. Kana backs off. Hansama up here as well means that they will lose a couple of plates to the tower.
Yeah, and this is a play you can do when you have free grubs. Because you open up here and you hit it so fast. Hansama's probably going to TP back bot the moment that Kalist crashes this wave.
That's the only TP they have. Sometimes you do see the Cassante TP across. Hex Flash, Lebrov decides.
Well, now it's a bit awkward for G2. You kind of need to commit to getting this tower. You want to really get a fight here.
They'll go in solo.
Oh, guter Seite von Yike to prepare. Auf den E. Reicht es? Nope. Oh, doch, reicht, oder?
Trying to heal up with the Thunder Sky, but the rest of G2 are not in range to catch up with him.
Boah, aber die Zone die trotzdem, ne? Es ist trotzdem nicht gut. Also es ist gut für G2, weil die hier die wegzonen können. Plus Hans... Hallo?
Now, Casey has left the top lane tower. Casey has traded 1-for-1. Sure, Kalista is getting gold on both, but G2 will get that first tower, and they will get the...
Ja, LEC muss mich nach rechts verflüssen. Und die geht keiner Botlane. I guess gegen erstes Schritt. G2 spielt gut.
The fact they were able to take that first turret. Next Drake up in 90 seconds time. Let's have another look at this, because initially it looks like a lot of the stuff just misses Yike.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like G2 are throwing everything just to kill Yike. It looks like it's a little bit overkill. The Solar Flare, the Cataclysm, the Spirit Rushes. But it's once again the urgency. They need to find the fight here. They are losing bot plates by the minute. If they don't find a fight here, they are just losing out on resources. So they are quite happy just trading 1-for-1 despite all the things committed onto Yike.
Yeah, and because of it, they now have this 1,500 gold lead. Broken Blade has already finished his Iceborne Gauntlet. Next Drake really... It's possible G2 will contest. They do have 3 grubs, so if they can find a way to push through another lane, they don't really have to contest it because it's only second dragon. But you can't push through top, which would usually be the cross map that you're looking for.
Yeah, let's see if Caps can get his TP back up in time here and get his recall off to get a Malignance. Right now he's staying here isolated against Kana. Doesn't have his first item quite yet, neither does Kana, of course. So he really needs to get a base up, and then maybe he'll be able to TP down there for the fight.
I mean, Kana's pretty happy that he's dealing with a squishy mage in mid, in top lane now, rather than have to deal with Cassante.
He's cruising right now in his matchup.
And part of that is smart allocation by KC. They said, well, Broken Blade has plated steel caps, an Iceborne Gauntlet and a Doran's Helm. Let's put him into someone...
Mein größtes Problem mit Rockabelle ist wirklich, dass dieser Itembild jetzt... Also die haben den Itembild zum Hund gemacht. Mit dem Kindle Gem.
Sure. But I don't think Kana could contest Broken Blade at all.
Not.
Which is the lesser of two evils for Kana, right?
It's a strong Cassante. What are we gonna do about him? Yeah. Okay, Kana, you deal with him.
Geht doch noch, naja, Kindle Gem, ja, ist schon deutlich schlechter.
They would always get solo killed by him by Sibin, because Silas as a champion can't do anything as Cassante.
Yeah, you need to be close range, and Cassante's like, cool, I'll play with you here. That's very fun for me. Is Casey gave up priority around the dragon, which means that G2 will get their first of the game. We'll have a slow soul if we do get to soul in this game.
Let's see if there's a cross map here for KC. You see Yike hovering around top. Lucy might be opening up here.
I think they're waiting for Busio to come.
Gibt's weniger AP? Ja, es gibt 10 AP weniger. 10 AP weniger für 50 HP mehr. Und die Active hat 10 Sekunden Cooldown mehr. Jesus Maria. Ja, du bist tot, mein Bruder. Mein Kareem Brother. Oh, scheiße, Bibi. Davor war es Fiendisch Codex und Ruby Crystal. Jetzt ist Kindle Gem und Ruby Crystal. Oh mein Gott. Der Healing. Mit Conqueror. Krank. Krank, krank, krank. Holy fuck. Holy fuck.
Mid laner in Europe. What a play by him. Clutches it out and secures 2 very important kills for KC.
Massive for KC.
Er ist tot. Ich glaube, Bibi hat's missplayt. Ich glaube, Bibi hat's missplayt, to be honest. Ich glaube nicht, dass Yahoo da überleben darf. Also, ich glaube nicht, dass Bibi derjenige ist, der hier sterben sollte. Roadshow ist einfach ein Event mit den Top 4 Teams. Nee, nicht zwingend den Top 4 Teams. Das hat ja nur, also, die großen Teams werden eingeladen meistens.
Absolutely huge. Words can't describe how much this does for the KC momentum right now. They can snowball this into many more such
Was?
you see here already. Kalista is TPing behind Kana on the side there, but they do have vision. Actually, no, the pink just got replaced in Tribush. They had a pink there only 5 seconds ago, but it got replaced.
Broken Blade puts the vision down on the Phaelite and will spot Kalista as he walks out of the Tribush. He can just back away. Let's have another look at this, because it does look like BB should win.
Yeah, the problem is that BB uses W offensively, and suddenly when you don't have the Pathmaker of Cassante, Silas can E forward into you.
Okay, jetzt zeigen wir es mal einfach. Ich glaube, BB muss das hier immer noch gewinnen.
This sidestep. He goes in the bush, fog of war, dashes.
Ja, aber Army, okay.
That was absolute Kino. I
don't know, ich glaube, der Flash hat ihn halt gekillt. Ich glaube, wenn er nicht flasht, ist es einfach fein.
For a lot of the time he's been there. Yeah. But the last, as Odo said on the desk, the last 20 to 30 games, he has absolutely begun to excel.
Yeah, I mean, the final test in Europe is Caps, and he's passing that test with flying colors so far in this series. What a play.
Evens out the goal between the two teams as well. Next Drake's still 2.5 minutes away. We'll see what lane assignments we have. It's Caps going up towards the top lane. He does love to do that. He's going to push that out. Who's going to answer it? Because there's no teleports for KC right now, and they're all actually below the midpoint of the map.
Yeah, I think they're just going to ignore it, try to get some vision in the bot side here before the Dragon. Try to help Yehu play as aggressive as he wants.
It feels like a long time before the Dragon to be forcing this many people down. You can see Kana now is going to answer it, but Caps, he doesn't have enough vision to really safely step up, but he does have a couple of wards, so he should be able to get one plate from the crystalline overgrowth, grabs it, and now that Kana's here, he can back away. So a little bit of gold for G2, didn't lose too much for Caps being in that side lane.
Yeah, I'm unsure if they were not tracking Caps' TP timing there. If Caps is pushing that top wave with TP advantage over Kana, I can see them being very cautious of that. Might be one of the reasons why they were over allocating people in the bot lane. But we said before, this game is going to be all about those mid laners. Yeah. It's a very snowballing matchup. And currently the man with the snowball is Yehu. I want to see how he rolls this to victory.
He's at risk. He's at a big risk right here. No flash, no...
Ich glaube nicht, dass es so...
Quickly enough to check. We'll give him that shield. It's just going to be the tower for G2. They decide against the dive. The risk of a cataclysm is too great, but G2 do get the turret. This is going to be answered by Kana pushing in the top side.
Yeah, this is what a 1-3-1 versus a 4-1 setup looks like. KC is rocking the 1-3-1, and that means one of your players on the side ends has to play a little bit more safe. Meanwhile, G2 with a 4-1 means that all 5 players can play as aggressive as they want, but you are missing out a little bit on a farm on one of those lanes.
Yeah. Still very even between these two teams. Now we get to that Drake. We have a Rift Herald that was used. Casey took it. Casey took it, but I didn't see it used. Maybe it was used top.
Could be used mid as well. I think there's only one play.
There's only one play on mid. Maybe they used it mid. Apologies for missing that whenever that was used. But mid would make the most sense. So no Rift Herald for Casey to use here. 30 seconds on the Drake. Busio on the flank. Lebrov, why is it?
Didn't check the push. Busio
hasn't actually checked the push. This is a great flank for Busio.
Look at how Sama, he is the target.
There we are.
Geiler Engage von Busio, Mann. Geiles Ding. Well played. Richtig geil.
That's why you gotta be diligent. You need to check your flanks. Was your support in your jungle just recently? You need to make sure it's not there anymore before, or it wasn't there anymore before you walk into the river. Busio cheats the tempo, stays behind in the jungle of G2, and finds what might be a game-winning flank.
It's possible. We still have a lot of game to go. It's
Geiles Ding.
Second Drake for KC, but it's a sign, hopefully, for KC of things to come. And there's just no answer to this.
I mean, with the Cataclysm from Yehu, it's just so easy when your support ends up in that position. You see how Sama insta-flashes out, but the Magnet Storm of Busio pulls him back in, and he ends up falling to the storm that is Kalist.
Just no way you can answer that. It's too quick, too sudden, too unexpected. Caps was still recalling on the top side. Skewmond as well was starting his Razor Beaks. Like, G2 were not as 5, and KC read them like a book.
Outspiked jetzt. Aber nicht mal so schlimm. So, actually, warte mal, sie sind nicht mal wirklich outspiked. Skewmond, weil er eben Boots geskippt hat. 2 Items. Mitte ist fein. ADC ist fine-ish. Die Seite wird ein Problem.
You're the one having to say, well, how do we deal with Yehu in a side lane? How do we deal with Kalist, who is scaling up rapidly on this Victor?
You need to start looking for Kalist. You need to try to force his flash so Jarvan's Cataclysm has some use. Either try to get Kana's flash or Kalista's flash, because right now they are playing in your face on the mid wave. You have a Jarvan. This is a Jarvan that you first picked, but we have not yet found a very flattering fight in favor of G2. So that is really what you need to try to use. You have your tools, but how you use them depends on you.
And sometimes the first time you use them is just to get these summoners out. You have 4 flashes available for KC. The only one not available is Busio's, because he used that just to take down 2 of your players a few moments ago. Now they're going to fight over this top side scuttle. Mid lane push for KC. This should go down to a couple of autos. Well, it's not quite close enough, but look at the damage of the Hunt Summoner, who's already down to half. Broken Blade is trading with Busio as Skewmon flags and drags away. BB gets the Q3, looking for those Antofos, but
Ja, ist reines CDR-Ding, ja. Aber, also, ist jetzt kein Scheiß. Du hättest Deathstand-Second überlegen können bei Javan. Oh, wow. Wait, Busio ist One-Shot. Aber trotzdem Winning für KC. So viel Damage bei KC. Wow, 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 wow. Was macht er? Was macht er? Okay. Oh Gott. NT. Casey hat so viel Damage.
I think this game has shown all the three pillars of KC. Their individual skill, their creativity, and their team fighting. And here you see the fantastic team fighting of KC. Yehu isolates Hansama on the back line, and Busio sends everything he has to deny G2 the peel from Hansama to make him safe. And at this point, it's just an easy chase. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. So many low health bars. Yike goes even deeper under the tower.
Yeah, that felt a bit personal from Yike.
Yeah, it did.
Arcane Storm onto LeBron as Kalist tries to just tick him down. He gets him with the Hextech Grey Caps. Tries to find the charm, but Kalist has got
fucked.
His dancing shoes. A Spirit Rush away from Caps will mean that he's...
Wait, ist er tot?
Yeah!
Wow.
Never mind! There are 4 mid laners in this game. Caps, Hansama, Yehu, and Kalist. And
wow.
2 on KC.
I'm sure you can hear it, but the crowd is absolutely on fire right now. Every single play, it's gotta get into the head
So viel Damage.
of players. Whenever you make a bad call, a misplay, you hear the entire arena of French KC fans just cheering on your demise.
And G2 are just walking onto the gallows. Skumon's like, it's fine, I'll take my blue. KC say, anything blue belongs to us. There is nothing for G2, it's a barren wasteland for them.
Look at this, oh, they want the TP. Kalist has flash up and available. They need to get something back.
Yike might die, let's see how much he can escape for. He's the one that G2 will chase. No walls for him to dash to, good safeguard, has the blast cone, there's a tower there, he could try and execute, but Caps chases him down with the Spirit Rush.
It has
and
the
that
wards.
will be that. Yike does fall. Not yet.
I mean, he's running, man.
I was so sure it was that Busio's here, but it's locked down. Shadowing strike, Yike dashes away, but he's
Lol, in die Leon Ulti. Und jetzt stirbt er auch noch, Busio. Und sie verlieren Drake deswegen.
And Busio, respect. He ran all the way there. Yeah, he could ward hop out of. Sadly, they both end up going down, but that's a support you want in your team.
Oh yeah, who's gonna face check? Use the Oracle Shield of Daybreak for the Sun. Caps has no Spirit Rush. They'll go back in with the Zenith Blade, but stolen Spirit Rush now from Yehu means that Labrov needs to walk away. Protected by the rest of G2, he will escape. Drake is up. KC can set their eyes to it when Yike hits respawn. Yehu just wants more. Abscond, abduct your support. Labrov, no protoplasm harness enough to keep him alive.
I guess Drake is nicht gone.
Yehu is just putting on a show for every single man here and woman in this arena. Kana finds Skumond, says, your Krugs, my Krugs. It doesn't feel like G2 can even take a step into their own jungle anymore. Everything's just coming up blue right now on this map.
You said it at the Infernal, Drake. You're like, maybe that's the moment that swings the game. And it really feels like it has been, Finn. You're Nostradamus out here. Everything has swung after that moment, and now KC will get themselves their third Drake. They'll be on Soul Point, 26 minutes in. They have a 5,000 gold lead against the reigning champs of the LEC.
And it's a game that started so well for G2. The mid lane and bot lane trades, the gank onto the Jace. But one by one, every single play slowly gave KC more control of the game. And at this point, It's just everything is KC.
So what did G2 do? How do you come back from this position? You do have 2 items on Caps. You almost have 3 on Hans Summer. You have some gold, but you are so far in the hole.
G2 needs to find a pick. It has to come from a Caps Charm, a Labrov Solar Flare, a Hansama Scatter the Weak. Someone has to make that first domino, put it down, so the rest of G2 can put it down and all of them just fall over. Because you need to connect that first CC. That's the thing that's lacking right now. You don't have that first step.
But again, how do you do it? That's 5 flashes up, Finn. KC have every tool at their disposal to escape any sort of engage you're going for, and they've moved into this 1-3-1 again, with Yahoo pushing through top. Broken Blade trying to answer him, does have the Force of Nature, so has a little bit more magic resist now. But then someone has to answer Kana, and then someone has to answer Kalist, and there's too many questions for G2 at the moment.
I mean, it's not an easy task at all. You have 2 options, really. Option 1. You completely drop one of your side lanes. You funnel every single player into one of the side lanes and tries to find a brief numbers advantage there. Option number 2, you put up a very shallow pink ward line or control ward line in your own jungle and camp it. Exactly how Caps is. This is one of the control wards that usually is the one that you camp for when you want to come back into a game. Looks like G2 has chosen both of them. They're sending every single player bot right now. Caps is running top, has the TP.
Yeah, there's no one there from KC. KC on a reset.
Kalist hat viel zu viel Damage. Die können, glaube ich, nicht. Also, sie müssen Kalist 100% catchen. Und ich weiß nicht, wie sie es machen, ohne Flash, also ohne seinen Flash zu trollen quasi. Also er muss komplett hinten. Wenn Kalist nicht hinter, dann ist unplayable.
See a little bit of ping pong with these waves. Just push them in, make sure you're moving into the jungle, you're denying vision, and then when Baron comes up, you can start to force G2 either to answer you or to cede those objectives.
It looks like G2 has made their choice, and it's to attack Yahoo on the side lane. Depends on how he's pathing. Keep in mind, they have 2 TPs to help him. Victor and Jace, both TP up and available.
Ja, der kann halt die Ario, die klauen, ne?
Such a Houdini this game. Kana continues to push in the side lane. No one answers. That's a tier 2.
Yeah, he just
walks away. And now you have one person defending mid. LeBron's trying to get towards Hansama, but top inhibitor tower is going down. G2 really forced there to try and get onto Yahoo, and KC very happily, patiently just say, okay, Jason, we'll get towers.
I mean, this was your one shot, one opportunity, but it turned out to be
Crossbar, ich check aber.
Silas could just take Caps' ult if he walked too far forward. He was never in any real danger there.
Exactly.
The moment Caps walks into Silas' ult range, he's gonna Spirit Rush out of there. So a very desperate attempt from the G2 solo laners.
And while it happens, look at the vision KC got in this blue side jungle. Baron is up in 23 seconds. G2 can try and walk in and clear this out. Broken Blade's trying to get the wave push through top, so at least they have one way to get to the Baron if they need it. But you're not clearing any of this vision yet.
I mean, the jungle is dark and full of terrors, but KC said not today. The Lord of Light will guide our way, as they are filling that jungle with wards every single time. Busio, ward, recall, ward, recall. He's making sure that they know every single movement that G2's taking.
Now and up, and Yike's just going to start it immediately. G2 have Caps on the bot side, now has the Crypt Bloom complete, is at 3 items on this Ahri. Yike can solo this. Doesn't actually need anyone else.
Also er kann tatsächlich nicht soloen, aber er kann starten. Ja, das ist nur um den Flash zu forcen, aber guck mal, das ist beschissenes CC-Layering. Horrible Spell Usage von G2. Intention super. Ja.
Chases Skewmon, and it's an absolute massacre. KC only leave
GG.
standing, and
Die Idee dahinter war gut.
cowardly and ran away.
G2 is getting ran over by the onslaught of KC members. They fight better, they set up the map better, and in this game 1, they are just better.
What a performance from Carmine Corp. Broken Blade comes out, you still got a Dragon's Rage to kick him back and kick G2 when they're down. 1-0 KC.
What a display of confidence.
Schön. Also honestly gut gespielt von G2. Von KC, Entschuldigung. Kannst du nichts sagen?
G2, the moment a play goes wrong, the moment Yehu got that 1v2 in bot lane, and you hear the crowd erupt, you just feel the air dissolve from your lungs, and you feel like you can't do anything anymore.
You just wind it immediately, and for KC, they rode that wave of momentum all the way to victory. Started at that third Drake and then never let go of the game.
Ja, also Hans ist deutlich schlechter auf diesen Majors als Kallis ist. Deutlich. Deutlich. Das ist ganz fatal. Ganz fatal.
We're not. We're going to hand it to Sally, who's on stage with
Yike. You're only seen a champion that lives and dies on his mechanics and early snowball. So how did you approach that responsibility in game one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we had a good draft this game, and I feel like maybe I didn't play the best game, but overall I did like my things, and I feel like we played the map very much better than them, so that was great.
You played it really well. I'm gonna let you take some words with the coach, and we're going into the game 2 right now. I'll let you go. Yike, that's called for you. Oui, mesdames et messieurs, Yike, on parle forcément des responsabilités de la LEC, et il déborde le sujet avec beaucoup de responsabilités en disant nous avons beaucoup mieux joué la map que, et ça s'est vu sur cette game 1. And then, let's see what happens on game 2.
Sally, you're better than me. I would have just straight up asked him to flame the other team, because that was one of the biggest stomps I've seen in a KC versus G2 single match. Absolutely ever.
Ich sag's jetzt, da muss ganz stark drauf gehofft werden, dass Metashift kommt. Er ist nicht gut auf Control Matches. Er ist nicht gut. Er ist nicht gut auf Matches. Hard to watch teilweise.
This guy was out of control. I felt like the Silas pick was absolutely out of this world and nothing could shut him down.
And talk about aging terribly, all right? We're going to see the replay, but Broken Blade decided to taunt the audience right before the beginning of this game, Jack Spectra, and it was going to be the worst thing he did today.
To be fair, I love the energy that BB brought into it. I think it's good to kind of play into the villain, and BB had a really good early game on this K'Sante. He was up against the Jace, which can be a hard matchup, but he still found the kill with the help of Skumon. But then this play, just Yehu goes for the 1v1 and completely outplays BB and Caps, and it felt like this was really the momentum swing that decided the rest of the game, because before this, G2 was building up a gold lead in pretty much every lane and just had a really good, stable early game. But once the crowd kicked in, once they started cheering for KC and really giving them that energy, it felt like mechanically KC just played such good League of Legends and were outplaying G2 at every turn.
Although, when you're in a position like this, right, so you're a mid laner or a top laner or you're whatever, you're getting into a game with all this pressure and then you do this play. Talk to me about how that invigorates you.
Oh, it really does, especially because Broken Blade was setting himself up to be such a huge carry. He was completely out of control. I felt like the chase was completely shut down. But Yehu, when you get to play this matchup, or when I was in this situation where I find someone who's very fed on the enemy team and I do get to take him down, then you see it, you feel it in his gameplay, you feel that this is exactly what you needed to unleash not only yourself, but to give a lot of confidence to all of your teammates, because Kalist finds this 1v2, kills up Rov. Later on, Caps thinks he can take a swing at the French King. He really thought he could do it, but after this, it was just all that they wrote. Baron in the back, complete snowball.
Yeah, it's crazy. Caps is like, okay, I'm a mid laner, I'm better than Yehu. What? You're not even better than our second mid laner, bro. What are you trying? Absolutely insane. Also, I was thinking, right, we see this matchup of Kalist versus Hansama. We were wondering, are they going to go pound for pound ADCs? I gotta say, Kalist on this Victor. Mwah.
Yeah, I think Kalist took some lessons out of EWC where DK with Smash played a really, really good Victor into the Mages and was consistently able to get a really big lead out of that. And Kalist picking that up. Victor being, I'd say, one of the harder Mages to play, especially with the E, getting all the good angles and stuff, but showing a lot of prowess on it, having a great lane, having a great game. And Yehu as well. I think the Silas pick, you mentioned it, Odo, because G2 doesn't have an ADC. They don't have that consistent damage that if a Silas goes a little bit too deep, you have this threat that can just immediately kill him. While in this game, Yehu, once he gets fed, he's so tanky
Nachdem was diesen Split, ja, im
really
vierten.
one-shot him, and then G2 doesn't have the sustained damage to kill him. And he has good ultis too, so he can just take over the game.
Exactly. For me, this was just drafting masterclass. If you can bring up the draft soon, that would be amazing. But it felt like KC put out such a great trap because the Camille was left open and they abused the fact that they were red side so well. So if you can take a look at the order right now, they do go for the Javan first pick and then KC responds with the Lee Sin. If you remember in day 1 or was it day 2, when you had stronger jungler with the Camille, that's in G2's mind. They are terrified of that and they say, we need to preemptively lock in this Leona. We're going to take the Syndra, flex it. We're going to put it both because it's strong 1v1 so we can unleash our Leona. But then what happens is that all of a sudden,
Und die AD gewechselt, AD und Mitte. Tactical, also, ich glaube, sie haben es noch nicht announced, aber Tactical und Ding werden heute starten.
Paranoia that was on the side of G2 that this is the threat that is looming above our heads. We are so damn scared of all these picks. We need to answer them preemptively, but they had no answers because KC just took the game in a completely different direction.
I love it. I love that analysis, really walking into the trap from KC. Also, I was a little bit scared of the Yike on the Lee Sin. I think generally I'm scared on junglers playing Lee Sin, both of these maybe, but he was stellar. Everything was stellar, right? So where do you even start as G2?
That's a good question to ask. I do think like what we saw in the early game was G2's strength.
Yes.
And what we've seen often when G2 face against KC, it feels like G2 just has kind of better laning fundamentals and they can get out of lane with a 1, 2, 3,000 gold lead and then steer the game easily pretty much from there. I do think right now the crowd is doing so much work. Like we've talked about it a lot and it feels nearly redundant to bring it up again, but you see it in a game like this when all it takes is one play to go KC's favor and it feels like the momentum is just dead for G2. There wasn't a single thing that went well for G2 after that Yehu outplay, so I do think that they need a really strong early game team comp that wins lane more than they had this game, because they didn't really have hard winning lanes in the draft.
Allein so viel besser als FlyQuest? Nö. Ich glaube, FlyQuest hat einfach richtig schlecht gespielt gestern. Und, also, die Carries sind schon, also Botlane Masu war 100 schlechter. Also Masu wurde komplett weggedifft gestern. Das war richtig krank. Also es war nicht close. Richtig peinlich eigentlich, wenn man drüber nachdenkt.
We saw it in game 1 between G2 and
merkst einfach richtig, wer so richtig beschissen ist auf diesem Mage. Ist einfach krank.
From the drafting phase and he cracked up a bunch of jokes. So I feel like for this sort of squad, it matters a lot. And I think from their side, I wouldn't be so much on the doomer side when I think that, oh, they just got outplayed, there's no answers and stuff like this. It really felt like it came down to the draft. And when it comes to their approach, I think for the first 15 minutes, I was quite confident on the side of G2. Their map movements were pretty clean. And I think it's as Jack said, you need to reinforce this confidence in your squad that, hey, I'll give you better tools next game. You keep doing what you've been doing because you have been doing very, very good. It's just you didn't have enough firepower.
Yeah, we'd be amiss if we counted G2 out. In every single one of these series, they have fought back in a series, even after a game 1 loss. So I want to see 3 games. We all do. We're going to kick it over to game 2 right after this.
Okay guys, this is your captain speaking. Our first game will be... Oh, we have a draft. Syndra no fire. Yeah. Syndra dead. It's good, it's good. Can we look? Do 1 or 2 3. Nice. Yahoo, I speed you. Ari's dead, Ari's dead. Holy guy! Nice, you guys smurfing it. Good job. Yeah. Wow, you played so good.
Welcome to the European League of Legends Championship Series.
Ja, gemeint Shitshow, aber echt nicht bad von KC, muss ich sagen. Echt nicht bad von KC. So, wir machen hier alles sauber kurz. Ich weiß, dass ich noch Ding für Raids brauche später, aber ja. Kennst du Peter Brot? Ja. Ja. Ist einfach so Fladen-ähnliches Ding, oder? Ich glaube griechisch. Fragezeichen.
A new champion. Welcome to my shop. You'll need the right build. Choose wisely, because every upgrade brings you closer to the next level.
Na, wir Döner, ja.
Tell me, how will you?
Ich sag, selbstgemachter Döner ist... Oh, ich call's jetzt fast, wirklich teilweise fast besser als beim echten Döner.
Want to find your fastest server every time? Express like a pro and optimize your connection in one tap. Express in game without
Bei Döner werde ich, also, ich weiß gar nicht, was ich den letzten Döner hatte, aber ich werde da wirst du so auf den Fleisch gefühlt. Richtig tot. Hat der Power den mit Terraria? Ja, hat sie.
Fast, stable, competitive. Outplay the world. It's time to Express. Unlock free Hextech rewards, exclusive skins, and more. Scan to subscribe.
The whole room was howling.
Howling? Oh. That's not howling, buddy. That's...
Did you steal the LEC trophy? Okay, you can call it.
So. So, die hier weg, die. Cleaning house. Was für Song ist das? Steht hier nirgendwo leider. Mach Shazam. So, jetzt haben wir das hier.
Welcome to the European League of Legends Championship Series.
We are back after what was an absolute banger of a game one with KC buoyed by their home crowd taking down G2. The question is, will it continue this way, or will G2 be able to bounce back and find a win to take us all the way to Game 3? KC yet to lose a game this weekend.
Yep, they're 5-0. Very comfortable here in the Adidas Arena in Paris. They just look so confident in every single play. And going up against a team like KC in their own arena, when you're even is one thing, but when you have lost that game, when you've heard the crowd erupt for every misplay you had, it gets in your head.
It really does.
And this is really where you have to push through the noise if you're G2. Reset. It's a new game.
Okay.
It's a new start.
Haus wurde aufgeräumt.
That momentum to come back in the series.
Perfekt für einen Draft. Let's go.
KC on the blue side after G2 chose second pick.
Auge von Cthulhu einfach, weil die passt. Sind die so schnell?
G2.
Aber repräsentieren die auch viel?
Cassio, Nocturne, Poppy from G2. Lock Oriana Vi being banned away by KC. Wouldn't be surprised at all if we see the Orianna put on the bench again.
Yeah, big thing now with Leona being out due to Fearless is that Camille Prio is increasing by the minute.
It jumps a ton. Poppy banned out really helps Camille as well. The ability to jump in without having to worry about that steadfast presence. I really expect G2 to ban it. Unless they're going to try and answer with the Shen, which is also a possibility.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, you gotta trade it for something.
Yeah.
But what can you realistically trade it for?
Gemeint, ziemlich gut von Casey. Sehr, sehr, sehr gut von Casey.
Leave Orianna up, Casey take one of the two and you get the other. And then you can go Ori Nocturne. Camille Nocturne's still strong though, so...
Yeah, when Nocturne is being taken out now, we'll see.
Eidroland ist besser.
Shen. I think G2 definitely have to ban the Camille. And then maybe you get a free Orianna pick for Casey. I think that would be a pretty good deal for them on the blue side.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be really nice for KC if they get that. Especially when G2 have gone for second pick, right?
Yeah, but you can also leave the Camille open, leave the Shen open, just take the trade. You can even first pick the Orianna, even if both are open, if you have to play both sides.
True. And Nivea will be the man from KC.
It makes me think about Ryze a little bit, or Casio. Still two champions, short-range mages that really hate playing against that wall, the Glacial Storm, the stuns. Setting themselves up for something in the mid lane without a Nivea ban. We do not know what yet.
I mean, there's a bunch of possibilities just generally, right? And as we see.
It could be Teemo Mid for all I know.
mean, I'm not sure Teemo
I think Teemo Mid is a bad matchup into Anivia, so.
I mean, that is true. That is true. You're too short range.
Yeah.
Your little legs can't get you out of the Glacial Storm. As the final ban is Rumble, and KC will look towards either the Camille or the Orianna. It's going to be Ori.
Yeah, so we've talked about both Camille and Shen are open available, so you happily just take that trade. Take the Orianna first pick, a very powerful mid laner, especially with Locke being banned.
Ja, schon später, ja.
Real counter answer is that Akali.
War ein gutes erstes Game, also von Casey vor allem.
That or not.
War sehr solid.
Just be a control mage matchup in the mid lane. But we do expect G2 to take the Camille. But
Und damit kommt der Shen und damit ist der Draft fucking fucked. Und haben sie jetzt auf... Okay. Mach ich das? Oh, mach ich das für Hans? Weiß ich nicht.
Yeah, because otherwise you get the same situation from last game, right? Either you get Camille on free with 2 bans, or you get the Shen into Camille matchup. Either way, you're quite happy as G2. Would probably end up mean that you'd have to pick your jungle here. There are still some champions available. There's the Xinshao, Neferi, champions that spring to mind that are a little popular in the jungle.
Yeah, I like them both. Could look towards the Kiana as well if you really wanted to. Okay,
so this is partly blocking the Camille blind, but it's also flex because Broken Blade has a fantastic Shen, and he really likes that pick into the Ambessa, into Renekton, which are champions that Kana is highly likely to blind. So G2 laying a little trap here. You take the Camille and eat the Shen matchup, or do you ignore the Shen completely and pick like a Bard? You might end up just getting Camille on free anyway.
I think if you're looking at Kai'Sa here, locked in for Yike.
Das Problem ist jetzt gibst du... Ja, jetzt gibst du halt deine Nautilus. Engel. Was wollen wir hier, Nautilus?
Fake can set up for some dives in with the Killer Instinct and the Void
also
Seeker.
Nico now if you want to. Nico is very good into Shen, a good combo with the Kai'Sa. Has that AoE CC setup that Kai'Sa wants to follow up on. Kind of blocks the Shen in lane. Used to
Also fresh spielen wir nicht.
Back in 2020.
Oh, we might be going old school.
This is old school.
Nautilus Kai'Sa. Okay.
Kai'Sa not.
It's a very traditional bot.
Kai'Sa not.
Just wants to kill the Ziggs.
A very timeless draft from KC.
It really is.
It feels like this draft you could have seen all the way since 2021, 2020 almost. And there is the Akali we talked about, into Orianna. The only real answer left with the Locke being out, with the Nivea being banned, is Caps locked. Akali locked in for Caps. We know how good he can be. We know how flashy he is, how clever he is.
Alright, so now we get into a second draft phase with tops and jungles up. Something we don't too often see. Tops obviously are often left to the second phase.
But the jungle is
the win.
Muss wieder einen Support picken? Ja, ansonsten wird es ein bisschen awkward. Auf 4-5. Bin ich okay. Akali-Pick ist okay, aber nicht wirklich so okay ist.
Is that an Arcane reference? I believe it is, right? Because they go through the tunnels.
Was?
You might not be wrong. I feel like you can see the reflection of something.
He's holding a camera, a mirror, taking a photo of himself. Smoke Sick. They say it's a Jinx Arcane reference. There we go.
Very beautiful.
Smoke Sick held for him. Okay, so Wukong and Vayne removed by G2 and KC respectively.
Classic ban when you're trying to line pick your top laner. Cringe champion gets taken out. Very nice. usually sets up one of 3 champions. It's the Gnar, it's the Renekton, it's the Xanthi.
Die haben eine Choreo, ja, die haben zweite Tifo heute schon, oder? Die erste vorher war eine andere.
You really don't want to give Kana Gnar, but it is up and available.
Meine ist schon die zweite Tifo.
Definitely going to see a Gnar here for Kana. We know how good he is on it.
Most likely having to blind top as well, right? So the Gnar would make a lot of sense. Skarner and Wukong taken away by G2. Gnar banned by KC.
Na, aber der gibt keinen Sinn.
Really surprises me.
I mean, I could tell.
Oder Ajax auch nicht, ja, aber.
Maybe they were scared of G2 picking the Gnar on 4. Maybe they really feel like they need the Renekton.
Yeah.
Because this is clearly telling me we want to blind pick Renekton, no matter what. But G2 plays Kled. He played Kled into Nagos Renekton and had a fantastic game. You're running into the G2 trap if you're going to blind pick Renekton for Kana.
And I like Kled with the comp as well, right? Shen there for the follow-up. Neferi going to get locked in. You have that dive bomb Neferi with the Shen stand united on top. Now KC looking towards jungle top, as you say.
Good see a Kiana again. We saw it from Yak before. It's a little bit volatile of a jungle matchup.
Yeah, is that what you want to go here? Do you want to go towards something that aggressive, or do you want something that's going to like try and counter scale a bit more tanky? Fiddlesticks is...
That's again rewatch, bro. Yeah.
Xin Zhao, I think I would like. Renekton's going to be the first pick as they ponder a little bit more.
They set up this Renekton.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, the Kled is available.
Yeah, it's a Kled.
You know the Kled is coming, and you chose this. So bold draft by KC. I mean, Broken Blade could pick something like an Ornn as well if they feel like they lack CC, but Kled is his champion of choice into Renekton, most definitely.
Does look like it might be a Kiana here for Yike. As you say, already played it once this week, had a great performance on it.
Yeah, that supreme display of talent to get it with a shockwave can be very beautiful. And
there's the Kled.
We knew it, they knew it, and they chose this. So let's see what the BB can do on this Kled versus Renekton matchup, because I'm excited. Whenever Kled is on my screen, I'm excited. Whenever G2's playing KC and Kled is on my screen, I'm double excited.
Ja, not schon mit der. Also, die gehen auf jeden Fall rein. Wird KC einfach überrannt? Meinungen? Kannst du mir gut vorstellen, dass es passieren wird einfach? Also ich kann es mir sehr gut vorstellen, dass sie einfach überrannt werden. Wenn sie nicht herkommen.
It's very 2019 Worlds.
Yeah.
With the Renekton top, the Kiana jungle, it's giving me a little bit of...
is that what you want to play into G2, who made it to the finals? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. If they put the Nautilus mid, maybe they'd be able to take the win. But G2 on the other side, a little bit more...
all over the place.
Yeah, it's more eccentric, right? You have some dive with an Neferi and the Kled with the Shen and the Stand United. The Akali can follow up. You got a bit of poke from the Ziggs, but
kann gut sein, dass wir hier Game 3 gehen.
Range Mega Inferno Bomb for some damage.
I mean, I like this draft a lot from both sides. What I will say, G2 very limited amount of CC.
Yes.
Very limited amount of CC.
When I'm talking about Satchel Charge as a possible form of CC, you are very limited.
I mean, you have Bear Trap on a rope and Satchel Charge.
And a Shadow Dash, yeah. That is literally the entirety of hard CC.
But Medic, death is the best CC in the end.
That is true.
As we see the teams load onto the Rift, it's gonna be a volatile...
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Feels like G2 really just want to be explosive. They're going for a 3-man push towards this bottom side. Busio's going to step up. He'll spot Labrov. Does Busio hook? He does. Skewman and Hunsummer immediately pounce out of the bush. They get the exhaust down to Kaliss. Good double Shadow Dash for a double taunt. Kaliss might have to flash away from this as Caps is on the chase, but instead they go for Busio. Try and force him away.
Oh, but Skewman can stay here. We can just take the Raptors now if you
want.
Welt. Really make life difficult for
daggers. You're going to put another one down. The Oracles from Labrov. Another Darking on
Busio.
Yahoo looking for the flank position. His commander side squad towards Caps. Chasing in as well. Labrov looks for the flash but Yahoo flashes away.
Guter Alliance Terrorismus. Sehr guter Terrorismus Alliance.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is League of Legends. This is modern League of Legends. It's a 4v4 for Raptors.
The recall as well.
Yeah, KC is suffering from this. Skewman is going to take over the early game now. Starts on the Raptors of Yike. Can easily clear all of the bot side, and unless Kana gets a lot of push in the top side, I think maybe Skewman can even defend his own top side.
And we'll see if he goes for it. He's gone for the red with the Eviscerate over the wall. Should be able to get that. Busio could challenge him if he wants. Yike's going to start on his Wolves. He talked a lot about how BB it was expected that he'd go the Kled in this matchup. Currently on an 11-game winning streak on the Kled. 18-5 on it all time.
Für wen war das besser? Deutlich besser für G2 natürlich.
You know this is going to happen.
Ja, clear early unterbunden. Deutlich besser für G2.
Become an absolute master of the champion. All the niche little interactions I see him do that he did not do in the beginning. When he started playing the champion 2023, he had good understanding of the game, but Skumon is caught here.
Skumon eviscerated over this wall to get here. Dredge line going down. Skumon will get the eviscerate. Kalist flashes. Skumon gets level 3. LeBron's going to look for the torn across the wall. Skumon
Wow, erlebt.
That is absurd.
Kalist has no flash. Kalist has no flash now.
Level 1 auch, by the way, die sind so fucked jetzt. Die sind so fucked. Die sind so fucked. Oh mein Gott. Er hat TP zurück, aber das ist so fucked. Oh, er ist tot. Flash EQ. Stark von Yike. Stark von Yike, Mann.
I mean, that is what KC needed. Things were looking very grim in the bot side. Sure, Kalist has the TP, but they already lost so much farm. But the Yike gets that kill. It's a little bit illegal, but a great solace if you're a KC fan.
Yeah, great kill for Yike, and he steals away the Razor Beaks.
He doesn't dismount now, so this is where Kled is really dangerous. Here he can dismount. Can't walk up here.
Gets level 4. Scuttle Crab will be taken by Yike. Broken Blade knows his jungler's on the other side, but Lebrov is looking to see what's available up here. How much did Yike steal away? He missed the ward that is on the red. Yike will get the Scuttle Crab and then back away. Lebrov has been spotted on this route, and now he'll spot Yike. And because of that, I expect we'll see both of them back away.
He's just there to cover BB, but...
And it's a taunt. Yike has no flash.
Yike is homeless.
Yeah.
What is he gonna do?
Well,
there's no camps for him to take.
He does have a 400 gold lead, so he could just look for some fights.
Yeah.
Could just go for a little bit of a Barney, a little bit of a skirmish wherever he can. But as you
sollte auf gar keinen Fall sollte auf gar keinen Fall mit Skirmish schauen. Er sollte basen und dann schauen, dass er seine Camps irgendwie bekommt. Alles hat kein Flash, er ist tot. Stark. Ja, gemeint, honestly, sehr one-sided. Also gut von KC runtergespielt.
No, he needs to recall. He doesn't have the items in his inventory. Yike's coming out with a pickaxe and a longsword. This Kiana is gonna hurt a lot in these fights. She's a little bit behind in camps, but the gold, she's doing completely fine in.
And supports in this meta. Like, Boosty and Lebrov have just been hitting each other for the last 30 seconds.
They feel like the extras in movies, you know?
Exactly. They're just in the background, just punching into each other. It's like, I'll get the vision. Broken Blade still mounted here. Very low on effective HP.
Wer smart Raptors sind, wenn Level 1 dann selber seine Top-Sets mal mit Yikes nicht bekommen, nee, weil du willst halt die Map gesplit haben, so ein bisschen. Vor allem, nachdem du so einen guten Level 1 Trade bekommen hast auf Botlane.
Will be spotted on this ward. Yeah, I can also Blade dismounted currently. Meanwhile in the mid lane, flash hook. The Twilight Shadow.
Oh, er kriegt seinen Knock-Up. Also sein Mount-Up, ja. So fucking OP, seit die es gechanged haben. Seit sie es geändert haben, die Mechanik, dass er instant die HP bekommt, das ist so OP. Richtig sick von Bibi.
Skumon, core of the pack, TP in from Carter, and Skumon will just back away now.
It's enough to make a grown man cry, Medic. What a beautiful 1v2 by BB.
LeBron is level 2, but Yahoo has no mana. Okay. Let's take a moment. Let's take stock. G2 2-1 up, gold basically even between the two teams. The big disparities. Broken Blade is 250 gold ahead. Yahoo has been able to push Caps out in a range into melee matchup, and getting an assist means that he's 400 gold ahead. But Hans Summer, because Kalist was denied so much on the bottom side of the map at level 1, is almost half a grand ahead. Well, he's over half a grand ahead of Kalist right now.
Hans Summer is a monarch right now. He's swimming in gold right there, Scrooge McDuck style. Completely, but Broken Blade, they knew this Kled was coming. Everyone knew this Kled was coming, but Kana walked right into the trap of G2.
Apparently bear traps work on crocodilians as well.
Yeah, and coaches.
But we'll see, because it's still a very even game.
Very even, yeah. But the question is set up for success here.
With the Tiamat ready, it feels like he can, using the auto resets, really just navigate this way very well. Kana at a bit of a risk because Lebrov is still only level 2. Hex Flash into the auto. Yikes here for the chase, and Lebrov Shadow.
Jesus Christ, Level 2 Supports, ey. Jack ist tot, ne? Nice, Mann. Das sollte eigentlich ein garantiertes Game 3 sein, oder nicht? Ich glaube, der Kopf überrennt die einfach. Warum flashst du?
dash in from LeBron is enough to get Skewmon his second of the game.
And this in this game too is G2 that's showing up every single play, going their way right now. And the goal lead is just growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, a couple of moments ago, I was like, let's look at the disparities. At the moment, it's a full G2 disparity. Everyone on G2 has a gold lead. Hansama almost 700 gold ahead as well.
7. Kalisius hit level 6. Look, they get baited by this level 2 Shen. They really think they can kill him in a one-shot, but the taunt out from LeBron is perfect. It hits the Nautilus, the proc is aftershock, get really tanky, chug through all those potions, and Casey just doesn't have the damage to finish him out. And didn't pick up the bush element, so he just was stuck there in the river without stealth.
You have a play like this from Busia, it just feels a bit greedy. Maybe they think they can burst him. If the hook lands into Shockwave, maybe that's enough to kill Caps. But at this point, it's so easy for G2 just to come around, get the cleanup. Skewmon now even further accelerated, and he can do things like this. Lebrov's still only level 3. He doesn't need more than that right now. He will eventually, but G2 can step in and steal away these camps. They have 1,700 gold lead, and Skewmon has about 400 of that.
It really did feel like a Hail Mary from Busio there, hoping to get something back from that play before it degenerated into this massive G2 goal lead. Now Yike on this Kiana had a really good game before. Still my man to watch in this game. That ult has so much impact when it comes to Dragon fights, Grubs fights, Herald fights.
Naja, gegen Klett, Akali, Nafiri, Shen, nicht unbedingt das leichteste Kiana-Game auf jeden Fall.
As well with the Kai'Sa.
Just need to be able to find the right angle. Yeah, currently G2 not giving it to them, but when we get towards those more coordinated fight around neutrals, maybe it will be enough. Broken Blade,
you need to be careful
yeah,
there.
He needs to walk away.
Yeah.
Busio's on this side of the map, and Yike is finishing up those last 2 grubs. Lebrov is looking down towards the bottom side. Kalis just used his TP, but it looks like after pushing the wave, he just wants to reset. Underneath the tower, is he actually going to go for the full recall? 2 grubs to KC, 1 to G2.
Yeah, now they need to beeline down bot lane to help Kalist. He's still getting suffocated every single wave. He doesn't have backup. Hansama with the range, with the item lead, just hitting this tower every single chance he gets.
He must be getting close to the satchel range as well on this tower. And then Hansama can move across the map, go top, go mid, continue just to chip away at these turret plates. As the satchel is used on Kalist. Fated Ashes from Hansama.
Skewmon picked up double take now as well. He's also very accelerated.
Oh, he's so strong. But there's a Profane on the other side, so Yike is matching with an item of his own. As both of the junglers are around that bot side. Busio with a hook in. Explosive micro. Oh, Yike steals the Drake!
Was?
Yike with vision on it, and Yike, I was like, Skewmon.
Oh Gott, hallo Rainbow.
Yike jumps across, gets his smite down, and steals away the Drake. That's huge for KC.
I mean, it's just something with Yike's smites. I feel like he's always been this player that is super clutch when it comes to the smite. And once again, coming up big, because this is what KC needs. They need something to start building. Denying this dragon from G2 will delay their soul points and give them much needed time to come back into this game.
Yeah,
really nice smites.
Great play from Yike.
Ganske verloren, honestly, gestompt worden.
Saw him come over the wall there.
Nein, bin ich überzeugt von, also Hands of Mages ist horrible.
The bush was there in the pit, so
Straight up, vielleicht noch auf 6 okay, aber ansonsten horrible.
your smite at the moment is not doing 1.4k. It's at that 1,000 mark, right?
Yeah.
At the second level up, so good Q smite. And now we'll see what KC can garner off that, because the jungle still mostly belongs to Skewmon. He has been able to push in here quite effectively. Broken Blade has about a 500 gold lead. Yike is answering that. Skewmon looking to steal away this Gromp, and Yike having to back away because Broken Blade has to push in top.
He wants to get some revenge.
Down.
Wants to get something back
Steals
after the
it
dragon
away.
was stolen. Yike doesn't have the supreme display of talent, but look at Caps. He's
Could
floating
be a
up here with the
house or two.
gunblade.
Caps on his way across. See the chase from the Neferi and the Akali. Kana has the dominance, has the flash, has the Zabuta.
Wollen wir mehr Turbo haben, ja, aber also Subs sind immer mehr. Subs sind immer am meisten Glück. Guter Dive. Wow, der Q-Fight away. Warum huckt er da rein? Busio, bist ein Freak.
Brings out the pocket pistol and we'll just push out the wave. Yeah, who is here?
Be careful, BB though. You die before that courage bar reaches full. It's no fun for you. We'll back off here, respect the command shot.
Oh, Kalist.
Nice one.
I mean, there's a Mega Inferno Bomb being used by Caps just to clear out the wave before. So Kalist not under too much threat, even though it looked like he was. Yeah, Hans Summer should be able to just push this wave back out. Needs to be careful because Yike is on this side of the map. He knows his jungler was spending time top. Labrov has waited. Broken Blade could charge forward here. He's already used it as they get the exhaust down onto Yehu. But there's the Shadow Dash. Busio with a good hook. Skimon on his way across. The Shockwave will pull them both back as Yehu tries to survive, tries to walk out alive, but the bear trap has to be flashed. In the end, Yehu will survive. A good hook from Busio. Coming in for a little bit more.
Boah, die werden gemollt. Honestly, 2 Stomps jetzt. 2 harte Stomps jetzt.
Well, it was a miracle they were going to make it out alive there, but then Cat shows up at their field of view and just seals the deal for G2.
And now Broken Blade has 1,000 gold lead, man. This was predictable, this was expected, but Broken Blade has taken over the game on this claim.
I mean, you gotta think if it's an ego thing by KC, because they know this is coming. But at one point, like, you have to respect BB's cred at this point.
Yeah.
He's shown internationally, regionally, how strong he is in his champion. And to give him a matchup like this,
Ist was Gutes? Naja, ich finde es jetzt nicht schlecht. Ich habe nichts gegen Stomps, wenn sie gut gespielt sind.
Insane display of mastery of the champion.
Busio just gonna watch as Skewmon does take that Scuttle Crab. Broken Blade needs to remount. There's a Kai'Sa in the area. The Killer Instinct a threat for Broken Blade. Caps is by himself down towards the bottom side, and Labrov is nowhere near this, but does have the stand united importantly, as Busio will be spotted by Skewmon, who sticks around. Next objective still about 80 seconds away. Busio's going to step forward, eats a Darking Dagger and Eviscerate, and Busio's health bar begins to melt. No real escape for him.
Ja, kann hier in 23 Minuten gewinnen, no joke. Ich glaube, wenn G2 sich anstrengt, kann es hier in 23 Minuten gewinnen.
Skewmon think about using the Hound's Pursuit there, but you don't know who's in that bush. You don't know if it's a bait or not. So
and you can get hooked out of it.
Yeah.
So,
look at
the
this.
best. Again, United. Broken Blade and Labrov trying to team up on Yehu again, who hasn't got that flash. Good double shockwave and G2.
Oder der Throw.
But Yike's on his way. Broken Blade looking for the remount, but Yike almost takes him down. Does with the second Q, a Shadow Dash, but Yike's not tanking the tower anymore. Sabrina's takes him. Kana slicing up by the dissonance. And in the end, a 1-for-1
Schaut Botlane an.
where Caps continues to push through bots.
A little bit messy there, but crucially, BB didn't have the remount because he already remounted recently, so it was on cooldown. But still, it's quite a big shutdown onto BB. Still think KC is quite happy with that. You need to trade, remember. If you're falling behind, you need to play the map, you need to trade sides. So you can at least get some kind of goal, some kind of aggressive position on the map, get some money to make some moves.
And the good thing for KC is with the Dragon coming up soon, they don't actually have to play for it. It won't be second for G2. Have another look at this. Good shockwave.
Yeah, the bear trap in a rope goes wide onto Yehu, good sidestep, and then G2 doesn't have the damage. But here you see BB can't remount here despite.
Weiß bis auf 6 Hans oder immer so. Ich glaube, 6 ist der einzige Mensch, dem ich Hans zutraue.
Otherwise, I think this might look very different. I think it was one obstacle from remounting if he got those first 2 off.
Oh, Yike tanks the tower because of red buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was?
Even though there's minions in the way and Yike doesn't hit Labrov, the red buff.
Nein, oder? Weil er geholt hat.
Into tower range, yeah.
Oh, wirklich? Hat er Red Buff?
To get the kill in
Ich
the
dachte, er hat von der Ulti bekommen, weil er hat auch noch einen Tötshot bekommen, der Renekton.
As we said, because of a good steal from Yike earlier on, it doesn't matter too much, not too consequential at least. As now we see Hans Summer and Labrov in the mid lane just trying to get the push out here. Kalist knocked back with a satchel. Busio looking for Dredge line. Spirit's Refuge down from Labrov means that he won't take too much damage from those auto attacks. Skewmon still looking to see if he can get in from the side. And KC, after a dominant game 1, now a little bit more on the ropes. But whenever they come on one of these road trips, they so often dominate. They so often get themselves ahead. They've yet to lose this weekend.
I mean, look, G2, they have one thing going for them this game, and that's damage. They are so strong, they have so much money. Every single member of G2 can just do so much damage that it doesn't matter the fact that they don't have any CC. KC, on the other hand, they have CC, they have setup, they have Nautilus hooks, they have Kiana combos, they have a flash stun from Renekton. They still have tools to make things happen. And should they come back, I think slowly but surely G2 will get.
Die Kalista ist halt auch, die Kai'Sa ist auch ein kompletter Non-Faktor für eine Weile.
Tower right right now. Hound's Pursuit going down onto Yehu as well.
Gut, das Ulti-Dodge von Skew.
With the shockwave, Yehu underneath the tower, it's surviving for a long time. LeBron gets into grip there, but the tower's already gone down.
Gut gespielt, Mann.
Follows suit,
Luciano tot. Ja, wenn gemalt.
As he goes 6 feet under. KC on the ropes here, as you can see on the side, yet to lose at a road trip. The question is, well, they're probably going to lose this game for all intents and purposes. Will they end up losing overall?
It's an incredible record by KC so far. But this game, G2 is surely gonna put their claws in them and try to finish it out cleanly.
And they have the leads where they need it. Caps is 1,000 gold. Hey, we'll have another look at this. Yehu tries to survive for a long time under this tower, but he just can't get through it.
Yeah, he really tried to find the trade key there on Labrov, but I really like Labrov jumping into the escape car here at the end. He's stacking the tower, taking so much damage. Gives Yehu no chance of a trade kill. And meanwhile, Caps is just tearing it up on Busio. Absolutely murdering him. He's so strong as a Kali. Got the Gambit really fast now, looking towards the Shadow Flame.
Now G2 extend their gold lead to almost 5k. It will be 5k with the mid-tier 1 falling. Skewmon going in. Fall of the pack used to jump up.
Bisschen Spellbook-Support. Ich glaube, das Problem ist, dass du so underlevelt bist im Early Game. Und wenn du dann nicht Aftershock hast, bist du halt komplett One-Shot. Ich vermute mal, das wäre jetzt mein größter Argumentationspunkt dagegen.
And don't really allow KC many opportunities to find picks.
It's a slow game though. You said it earlier, Medic. It's going to be a late soul point for both teams. Still one Drake to one Drake.
Shockwave onto BB as he's dismounted and he doesn't get back on Scar in time. Good play from KC. The dissonance with the movement speed, the slice forward, and then the shockwave waiting to catch out BB.
Very greedy by BB to stay around when he's dismounted, but can you blame him? This is what
TP
Clem
behind
does to you.
Caps.
Yeah,
This is nice from KC. They've looked for a couple of picks and they have a great
fury as well.
Caps flashes, Yike is here and they'll just chase him down.
Guter Catch.
2 huge shutdowns for KC.
Sehr guter Catch. Zwei gute Catches.
Greed from G2. They're getting caught out in
Ja, aber das Item hast du, also, ja, wann hast du das Item?
KC is outscaling them this game. They have so much CC. If they don't get the damage to boot, these fights will look very difficult for G2. Sure, they can maybe kill one of them, but in the end, the Renekton, the Kiana, the Orianna, they are scaling. They need their time to grow. And eventually G2 is going to run out of damage to deal with him.
Yeah, and the gold lead goes down from 5k to 2.5. Yehu TPing out, not aware.
Ja, die Orianna 2 ist fertig.
No one was threatening him, but he doesn't know that. I don't really blame him for using that summoner. Next Drake up in a minute's time. We also have Baron coming up in a minute. Both teams have relatively good Baron damage, I mean, especially for KC, if they do decide to do it as soon as Kalis gets a couple of items under his belt.
Yeah, first Dragon is coming up here though in 40 seconds. G2 will put down the roots in the bot side river. Try to get control over that. Try to hit some bouncing bombs when KC walks in.
Yike comes across, gets the smite fight. Wins that one out. Has his second item as well. And a serrated dirt. Yike actually ahead in gold over Skewmon after that big shutdown that he managed to acquire on Caps. And G2 will just deny vision around this bottom side river.
BB's playing far up here top though. Seems like Yike is looping around bot. I feel like he needs to, or he tries to make
Awkward Progress zu machen und das Problem ist, die haben erst einen Drake, also ist wieder ein Nafiri-Game, das bedeutet, du kannst potenziell den Nash einfach mal starten, schauen, wie die Gegner reagieren. DPS aber auch, naja, limitiert, sagen wir mal, ohne Kletter-Hitted.
And you try and get onto Hansama or Caps or Skewmon and they dash out, you then have a Kled just charging into your backline.
Yeah, I think at best you're paying for a stealer for Yike, but yeah, KC will leave the scene of the crime. Didn't really get a cross map on this dragon, they just ended up looking at G2 taking this dragon, so...
I mean, they looked for Caps on bottom side, but Caps respected it as Kana goes in. They've made this play a couple of times. Hey, I'll protect you, Kana, and then we chuck in the shockwave to follow up, but Caps doing enough damage to Kana there that he can't really stand up.
Fantastic spacing by Caps. Kana can't really get the Ruthless Predator onto him. Hides in the Shroud, and the moment he hits the minion, just Goes in for the big damage. Now G2 is gonna shift all their attention towards the top side. Caps is very comfortable here on the side lane. He's pushing at bot with a TP.
Ja.
You're gonna see Labrov here.
Ich glaube, es wird früher oder später, also nicht allzu nah Ferne zu einem Nash-Start kommen von G2.
It feels like a tricky one again, kind of for both teams. Like KC are happy just to sit and scale, so if this is the status quo for the next 4 minutes before the next Drake, they'll be good with that, right? For G2, you've already taken tier 2 in top. Tier 2 mid is difficult because there's always a Kiana as we go for the Hounds pursuit onto
Geiler Play.
Shockwave into Killer Instinct. Caps gets the perfect execution with the Stand United. Went onto Skewmon. Kalist with a good
Geiler Counterplay.
answers with a kill of her own. 1-for-1 on the bot side.
I'm so surprised Caps died there. I thought that would be a clean pick onto Yehu, but so much damage coming out from KC, from both Yehu and Kalist. I think the Void Seeker hit him there at the end and just burst all those plasma stacks. Broken Blade, jousting forward.
Ja, Hans auf
Unfortunately, so can't go for any more.
Hans auf dem Six finde ich noch vermarktbar. Syndra, Victor, Jesus Maria.
Seekers in there. Very sure he doesn't die.
Yeah, both teams had the same idea, attack the side end, but the Shockwave into the Prey Seeker. Oh, it's very nice by Kalist. And then the Alto comes in right before Labrov was able to put down the sword and shield onto him.
Yeah, really nicely done by Kalist to answer that quickly. Gets himself ahead in terms of gold, and you look at those golds, like Labrov is 1,000 gold ahead, Caps is 1,000 gold, and Broken Blade is 1,000 gold ahead. But Hans Summer's lead that he had in the early game hasn't really amounted to much. Skewmon's fallen behind in terms of total gold, at least in the game. KC have answered this early pressure from G2 really well. Caps now does have the Seekers, so a little bit safer pushing on a side lane. G2 have total control of this top side, and because of that, they're the ones that are going to call for Baron. BB will be spotted by that ward as he walks around, though, so KC know that this is going on. Kalist is backing.
Ja, das ist der Nash-Start.
They're going to TP in the Renekton as Kana's going to join the fight.
But look at Yike, 3 items on Yike. He's the richest man in this game. His ult is kind of made massive here.
Baron at 4k. Yike looking at the Supreme Slayer talent. Doesn't allow the stun on.
Oh, 50-50 ist. Die 1,8 meint. Geile Shockwave. Wow, geile Shockwave. Richtig kranke Shockwave von Yahoo.
But that's about
Skewmon, you have to run. You can't stay around there.
Eviscerates again. Yehu doesn't have the shockwave. All ultimates used in that last battle. Broken Blade coming back out. Does have to charge. A Mega Inferno Bomb coming up in 5 seconds time as well. G2, if they really want to, could look for a force.
Could try to chase.
Gibt's AD Carry, die man AP Carry gut spielen kann. Kaiser.
Mega Inferno Bomb just used to play the wave in mid.
They could rejoin this fight if they want to, but G2 did end up getting the Baron. But that could have been very, very dangerous if the Supreme display of talent actually connected with someone.
Yeah, it was a good call from G2 to rush it when they did. They had that topside control that you talked about a little while ago. Kalist did reset, but then TP back in, but wasn't able to get there quickly enough to really put out the DPS. Now G2 with the Baron for the next 2 minutes. We have to see how much they can get out of this, because currently...
Ist Profane besser Perform als Umbra? Also, Profane ist halt ein hartes Snowball-Item. Kannst du Profane early, dann kannst du immer weiter full clearen, immer schneller full clearen, right? Und so halt Ressourcen weiter stacken. Und dann meistens kommen die Gegner Champions dann hinterher. Ja, die Shockwave war insane. Shockwave war insane. Ist Profane besser als Voltaic? Manche gehen beides. Also Profane into Voltaic, wie es eben unter anderem Yike hier in dem Game.
They're gonna try to get at least a tower.
Hans Summer can use the satchel on it, and
Das ist, glaube ich, der Standardbild momentan.
Broken Blade answering Kana on towards the top side. I don't think Kana wins this. Stevax Black Cleaver against Black Cleaver. Titanic Hydra and the nice charge with the Stand United. Bear trap on the rope doesn't hit. The charge forward, but Kana slices just in time. Broken Blade still trying to close the gap with the killer instinct of Edward for Callistus. Could go in.
Aha.
From G2, they're trying to force everyone into this.
Aha. Was hat denn Kalista gerade eingestellt? Igitt. Igitt.
He took the scenic route to the fountain. I don't know. I thought
das war nicht gut.
Awkward attempt by G2 because all of KC were so fast to respond, but I didn't realize that all of G2 responded as well.
Yeah.
Caps, Hansama.
War nicht hier schon dead? Weiß nicht.
Here you really need to
Nicht wirklich, oder?
charge into bear trap on a rope there. Combine those abilities so you can't get dodged by Kana. But it looks like he was gonna run out there. But it's actually Kalist that jumps into the backline and kind of takes all the threat from G2 and aggro them.
Let's have another look at it.
Let's just look at it.
Okay, so I understand it.
I see it. I see
Mega
it.
Inferno Bomb and Hound.
Naja, ich sehe es nicht wirklich.
You do have flash. Perhaps you could have pulled the wolf across the wall as the Drake goes over to G2.
Diamante zu Real, here we go. What the fuck, das ging schnell.
But that was definitely... He was in a pinch and he tried to outplay it.
Understandable. Understandable when you look back at the play. And now the gold lead swing in G2's favor. As they get the Soul, they get the Drake, they get the Baron, but the Baron's now expired and still only 3k ahead. 3 items on Kalist, almost 3 for Yehu, his Shadow Flame just over the horizon.
BB has been a target of a lot of cases attempts on sideline right now.
I'm shocked. The fact that Clegg got massively ahead and then they tried to kill him on repeat.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he has a very big HP bar, so it can be a little bit menacing. It's a tall task to kill the Clegg.
That is true. That is true.
And he has a charge run away, but they are trying to just get any sort of opportunity they can, because if the game just keeps playing out like this, it feels like G2 is just going to try to secure the soul point for themselves.
I mean, they'll look for the soul. KC is still in a strong enough position to fight it. You look across items, it's like Yehu has slightly more items than Caps currently.
Und Pro meine ich, ja, wir sind regelmäßig.
Broken Blade, slightly in BB's favor. 80 carries, bot laners.
Ganz gute Kiana Games, ja.
So pretty much equal, although Busio is about half an item behind, we'll say, with the locket.
Yeah, Yike really needs to get his last whisper right now, because with all those levels on G2, the base armors are so high.
Yeah.
He's sitting with 3 lethality items, and before he gets last whisper, Cyril does, it will be hard to find that big damage that you really want on.
Das Game dauert mir schon wieder viel zu lange, ne?
Agreed. We have a bit of a stalemate for now. This is expected. We have a minute and a half before the Baron. The teams tend to slow it down here. You can't really find an easy fight to force, and if you do go far enough to force a fight, often you're over.
Soll ich eigentlich in LDA gehen? Ich glaube, viele sind da nicht so auf dem Schirm noch. Die checken es noch nicht.
It's so difficult to attack
Oh, yeah.
because Skillman walks up alone, and there is a Shen ult, a 6 TP, a Kled TP, and then a Kala TP. In theory, all of G2 can TP to his dogs, and Shen can ult on him.
Exactly. Currently no TP available for Caps and Hansama, but they will be up soon. Yehu is missing his 2. And it's have to see how G2 decide to pressure towards this blue side jungle to get vision. At the moment, everyone's on the bottom side. With Baron up in 45 seconds, I think they're just making sure that BB can walk out here safely, contest that mid wave, as the hook's gonna land. Depth charge down as well. Supreme decides
Labroth lebt. Toll, sein Protoplasm rettet ihn auch noch. Holy fuck, geiler Access auf Yahoo. BB spielt ein sehr geiles Game wieder. Richtig, richtig gutes Game von ihm. Brutales Ding.
KC throw everything onto Labrov's Shen, but it's just a Shen. The best thing he has is a taunt, and they end up standing there, not being able to kill him in time, and get collapsed on Caps. Insta flash down. We're gonna rewatch this again. They send the Nautilus ult, the Kiana ult, the Oriana ult, I think, as well. But look at Caps. He flashes in immediately on Kalist, splits up the fight. Kled comes in from the flank together with Skewmont, assassinates Yehu, and the shockwave is not enough to save him. And now Skewmont gets the Hound's Pursue, resets, and Casey's running away. Kana, you are just left to die. That's a sad crocodile. Many tears.
And it just before the Baron as well, which means G2 will get their second of the game. They have 90 seconds before the Soul.
Das haben wir auch dabei, aber guck mal, bist du glücklicher, wenn er so ist oder wenn er dir aktiv auffällt? Auf Mages, weißt du?
Trip is ending after this game. I feel we're going to 3.
I think we're going to 3 as well, Medic, and it just proves the point that Death is the best CC. You don't need to draft any CC. You're just going to kill your opponents on repeat.
I mean,
15 kills for G2 so far.
I think G2 would have liked a little bit more CC.
Maybe.
This game, they've been a bit of a struggle. As they now move into that 1-3-1 we talked about in the last game. Caps and Kled separated on other sides. LeBron, the target, Supreme display of talent doesn't hit him.
Wow, der Gameplay. Wow, geile Combo.
Beautiful from Kalist and Yehu.
Oh, that's poetry right there. What a beautiful combo, but now Yike in danger.
Yike needs to get out. He's
gonna
burn. And Skewman and Hansama team up to take the kill. A 1-for-1 exchange on other sides of the map. G2 are just denying vision because they know their soul is up in 20.
They just need to wait. G2 just needs to hold the line, be patient. That dragon is yours if you just wait for it. KC's only chance right now is finding a fight to want to deny the soul.
Yeah, not going to be able to for now. 20 seconds on Yike is a long time. Yehu is pushing through top to try and get himself a little bit of an objective bounty. He'll get the plates in here down in mid for G2. Now they can begin to back away and look towards that Mountain Drake. There's a couple of wards for KC, but let's have another look at this.
Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. What a display of synergy and talent. That's a supreme display of talent right there. Not Keanu. That was absolutely gorgeous.
Was heute ganz gut.
It really was, and they do find a pick, but then they get picked on the other side of the map, and now G2 pick up a Mountain Soul, and it's going to be even harder, obviously, for KC to win it out from here. The shielding on the Soul means your burst windows aren't as strong. The Shockwave Killer Instinct combo probably doesn't kill Caps immediately, and then he has the Zhonyas, he can dash away.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Unless Yike lands a massive ult with the Serpent's Fang, removes all those shields immediately. Definitely will be a thorn in the side of KC. As Baron is spawning in 3.5 minutes, G2 still needs to play the game, still needs to set up. KC has time to scale up, get some items. Yehu soon getting his Void Staff. Kalist just hit 4 items. Kana getting his Death Stance. There are spikes that are about to be hit.
Overlord's Blood Mail finished for Broken Blade, an item we scarcely get to see, but often does do a lot of work. Giving you all that extra damage.
Massive HP pool, getting so much value, and he's getting the AD exactly when he wants it. When it is mounted.
From Kalist as well, he's gone for a Verdant Barrier here on the Kai'Sa, getting himself that spell shield to avoid the initial engages. Skumon pushing through mid, no Baron buff left for G2, but that top lane tower, Inhibitor one, already down to almost a plate. A Satchel will kill it if Hans Sommer can step far enough forward. Meanwhile, on the bot side, who's trying to deal with Broken Blade, but he's not going to be able to. The Shockwave!
Oh god.
Is ignoring him, hitting the inhib in his face.
He brings out medieval tactics with the Joust to avoid the Shockwave. A Mega Inferno Bomb to stop KC from finding the engage. This will be triple inhib for G2. If Broken Blade goes further forward, the charge from Broken Blade into a Stand United. Kalist doesn't get pulled back by the bear trap on the rope, but KC have to disengage. The inhib still alive as Kana dives onto
Skumon.
For the slow. Busio looking for the hooks as well, but the hounds will help Skumon from landing that hook. The inhib on the bot side does still stand. It's on a sliver of 8.
Gib mir nicht mehr Jay als 3 auf 3. Doch, kannst du noch.
We'll be back up. Well, 4.
Aber Nafiri ist schon so slippery. Macht sehr viel Gebrauch von sehr viel Gebrauch von
Feels like this game is gonna come to a close soon. Baron spawning in 2 minutes.
It still feels like it could go either way. Like G2, if you look at the scoreboard, should win. Like 6,000 gold ahead, Mountain Soul. They can set up around this next Baron. 2 inhibitors down. G2 should win this. But there are these moments from KC.
I mean, it's just the CC. CC is such a powerful tool, and to draft without any regards to it could be detrimental. We saw MKoi do a similar thing with Nafiri jungle, Karma support. Ends up being quite difficult to start a fight, but they play well.
Gets the stun onto Skumon. KC looking for a collapse. A Killer Instinct in from Kalist. The Hound's Pursuit going out. The call of the pack, in fact, from Skumon as he jumps up. The damage from Kalist not enough to get through Skarl.
Kommt nicht mal runter vom Fahrrad. Geht hier nicht mal vom Fahrrad runter. Das ist schon. Das ist tough.
No CC, he can do that safely. As G2 look to collapse around. Labrov.
Das ist tough.
Could go in here. Hans Sommer coming in from the side as well. There's a Shadow Dash running onto Yike. Hound's pursued as well, but the dead
W von Kana.
Display of talent will stun them in their tracks. Kana dives onto Labrov, and now he's in the midst.
Oh, Backline, what the fuck? Wo kommen die beiden her, die Psychos?
Skumon and Hans Sommer flash for Yike as they'll take him out. And now it feels it's all but done. Only Kalist and Yehu still stand.
And it's in a poetic way that Broken Blade and Cap charges in together into the backline of KC to end this game. It has been a dominating one. Some hiccups here and there, but a commanding game by G2 so far.
It was tough. It was tough. KC fought them tooth and nail, but in the end, it's G2 who will even out the series and take the Paris Roadshow for as long as we can. Game 3 coming up soon.
Let it be known that Broken Blade Kled is a threat. Broken Blade Kled is to be respected. And KC, you flew a little bit too close to the sun with this one.
So, wir brauchen 21:30 Uhr Game Start, 30 Minuten Game. Das brauche ich. Damit wir rechtzeitig für LCS fertig sind. Ansonsten machen wir LEC fertig. Und dann swappen rüber. Ja, Bibi, klar, als 12er Winstreak oder sowas.
in their home here in the Adidas Arena.
11 hatten sie, glaube ich, davor gesagt. 12 Gewinntickets.
Will we continue as a library or will we have a rave?
Yeah, the atmosphere really quieted down throughout this game. They had some eruptions here and there, but right now we're gonna hear from Skumont together with Laura, who's standing down there on the stage.
Célie, mais Skumont quand même, qui prennent la game ici. Et je veux savoir ce qui a rendu justement cette partie difficile dans la fin de partie pour vous. Avec G2, vous dominiez beaucoup, mais finalement ça a pris pas mal de temps.
Ouais, honnêtement, je pense juste qu'on s'est pas trop attendu sur certains timings.
Sie haben ziemlich gut Banger Series. I mean, ich glaube, TL gewinnt, aber könnte ein Banger werden, ja. Hat's Potenzial. Jo, lass echt mal nicht auf Englisch übersetzen.
Skumont, je vais te laisser rejoindre le reste de ta team avant cette prochaine game. And for the international viewers watching, he says that they were not on point with what to do in the late game. The Kaisa is the one who made the game difficult. But for now, we're gonna go to game 3. G2 comes back. Let's see what happens next.
Thank you so much, Lore. Actually, that is really, really poignant because Jack Spector was just telling me that the Kaisa, despite KC losing the game, was the thing that kept hanging on and actually played the game out correctly.
Yeah, Kalisz played really well because when you're behind, you're not going to win a 5v5, right? An equal numbers fight is going to be really difficult. So he always went to the side lane, using the ultimate for Kaisa to build so much range that he could always join the fight and create that numbers advantage on his side. And that's what made it hard for G2 because you saw BB getting caught, you saw Caps getting caught. And normally it feels like that's just silly mistakes, but it was really the Kaisa that enabled that to buy so much time for KC.
And it's huge credit to Kalisz for recognizing how he needs to play from behind, and also for the team as a whole for slowing the game down, trying to find those opportunities. Ultimately, they're way too far behind.
Ausschnittsweise Koreanisch auf gar keinen Fall. 12er Winstick ist wahrscheinlich mit auch hier, das kann sehr gut sein.
Or where Medic was coming from, and he said, "Oh, this could turn on a dime." And I think this is when you watch series against teams that can be evenly matched, where you get that feeling. But Odo, tell me how G2 got so far ahead because it was the complete opposite of game 1.
We saw it, if we think back at the previous series already, it was Skumont. Whenever he gets an early game lead, he puts the pressure on Yike, and we saw it. The level 1 happened. It put him extremely far ahead. Yike was forced to match him at every single point. And as an added bonus, we saw that Kalisz ended up being extremely far behind and he was forced to come back into this game. So already you have a stronger level on. The Kiana is completely useless. You have a Shen, you have a Nafiri, extremely fast clearing jungler. And what you want to do here is not even to just invade to get ahead in the jungle, is you need to invade here to get the control, because from this point on you will see where Yike goes even if this invade fails. Caps gets a bunch of forces Yehu to this annoying chokehold, and then after this, it's just a full-on 3v3. Nautilus is already chunked, and Yike has to forfeit this because, again, just the 3v3 doesn't have any sort of raw power.
Yeah, and Jack, it wasn't just that Kaisa got set behind, but also all of a sudden Lebrov now has the ability to influence the map wherever the heck he wants.
Yeah, I think Lebrov was really nice on the map on the Shen, using the Stan United to help his team. But really the highlight player, if we were to point at individuals, it's going to be Broken Blade. I mean, it's on the Kled, right? He was just doing so much work. And I feel like Casey kind of walked into.
Dann kommt der Spider für raus nochmal kommende Woche. Ich bin am Mittwoch im Kino.
Also, ja. He seems so comfortable in this matchup. He outplays the 1v2. He's like 19-5 now on the Kled of all time. Just he's a guy that I don't think you ever want to give him a good Kled game, and they gave him a really damn good Kled game, and you saw what happened.
Listen, my top laner brain, every time I see this matchup, I'm thinking, it's impossible. How is he gonna make it happen? Time and time again, it starts feeling like this Kled versus Renekton matchup is just BB favored no matter what he plays, because the Kled had a phenomenal game. The flank all the way to bot lane, boops Orianna in the head, half HP gone, just like that. And it felt like this was the final Hail Mary that KC had.
And really, it feels like Skumont and Broken Blade in so many of these fights are just the thing that stops KC from ever having an angle back. Oh, your creative Kaisa angle, point and click ultimate. Oh, your creative backline dive, Broken Blade is right on top of you. Long range flanks, everything working out in their favor.
Wird mein Shit-Team jetzt noch ein Game? Ist es G2? Das Shit-Team?
And credit to BB.
G2 ist ein Shit-Team, ja, ist möglich. Also Draft ist super OP. So wie immer, Draft ist das Wichtigste.
For most Kled wins of all time. Most in pro play. I love that stat, but kind of like to contextualize this, Odo or Jack, right? To get to this level of efficiency with a pocket.
Mach ich wieder nur, ja, das ist eine gute Frage.
That is just what is so impressive to me, because it means you gotta tank a few losses, you gotta tank a lot of matchups, you gotta make it all happen. And I'm really surprised every time I see it.
It just speaks to the confidence of this player, because Kled, we keep calling it a pocket pick, but at this point,
No, it's not.
how many more games will he need to give us until other players start picking it? Because it's not at the point where we had Finn when he was the Kled OG OTP, where it was just, you know, it was just wonky, it was just a cheese pick.
Sucked, yeah.
But right now it's just it's consistently good. The fact that a pocket pick of the volatility of Kled is so damn consistent in BB's hands just shows that he's actually really good at a champ, and maybe others should pick it up as well.
And how niche does your top lane pick have to be when a mid laner is the person who has the most games on it? That was right? Like, how weird. Because Kled has been around for so long, but it's so infrequently good. And most of the time we pick it, it's like some young upstart, like Finn or whoever, and they get one game on it, and then it's back to tank duty, buddy. But BB does feel like the exception to the rule, the guy who is pushing this forward, and maybe this is a pick that everyone needs to be adopting because BB is so consistently using it.
I think the growth is really cool because last year when he played a lot of the Kled into the Sion, I feel like it wasn't that impactful.
Yeah.
I remember, especially like Finn had a lot of criticism for it. And this year, BB has been playing some fantastic League of Legends. He had the best series of his career up against T1 at MSI. And I just feel like in general, when you're looking at BB, it's kind of like wine. He just gets better with age, and he's just improving as time goes on. And the Kled pick is kind of his pick. The fact that that is reaching a higher and higher level shows that him as a player is being elevated as well.
Okay, let's calm down a little bit. Okay, what have we said
I
about
think he's
Broken
aged
Blade
pretty
forever?
well.
Yeah, he's aged well. But what have we always said about Broken Blade? When he gets to play the funny stuff, he's the GOAT. When he doesn't, it gets rough. So when we come into this game 3, I don't want people to be like, oh, he's absolutely
He was
gonna
very good at Cassandra. That's not a funny
I'm just saying, but the context for the glazing is important. You don't want people to think he can get it any time of day. He needs to be playing the right stuff if he wants to get that kind of attention.
Yeah, well, I've seen them play KC a lot, and I've seen them come on top on a lot of games in the top lane. I'm just going to say it. I don't know if it's going to be the case in this next game. The jungle, we touched on it already, right? So different. But obviously, that goes for any jungler. Get a good start, get a good game, obviously. But yikes, Kiana is also very, very good. But the difference to me is, like, how are they going to enable either or in game 3, right, Jack?
I think it comes down to the jungle. Like, when we saw last time they faced off each other, it was the Nasus, it was the Kane, it was Skewmon taking over the game. And in this game as well, with the level 1 that you touched on, Odo, it set Yike behind so much in tempo. And I do think that when Yike falls behind, he's kind of a shell of himself. I feel like he really needs to have the lanes be comfortable, him be comfortable, and that's when he gets unleashed. And Skewmon is a very similar player, wants to full clear, wants to have a comfortable game with not too much variance. So if Skewmon has that great early game, I think he runs away with it.
I mean, volatility is the biggest weakness, I think, of both of these players. You're going to a game 3, a ton of pressure for KC in their own house, for G2 trying to do their best for this tiny contingent of fans who have been cheering as loud as they can the entire day. It's the most pressure that's going to be on these junglers since they played at EWC or MSI.
We were unanimous in our KC predictions. Any flip-floppers in the house?
I still think KC 2-1. I really like the resilience in this game, how they tried to come back. 2-1.
I said at the beginning, I will not flip-flop. If they don't win now, they will never win. I'm sticking to my guns. KC 2-1.
I can't doubt the fans. They've been cheering all day. Medic's almost blown his voice out. I've blown my voice out. The fans are still going. They are literally unstoppable. If anything is going to get KC across the line, it's going to be them.
Yahoo! I agree with you. I think KC is going to take it 2-1, but I think it's going to be the best game of League we've seen all weekend. We'll be right back, ever, with that deciding game between KC and G2.
You look like KC Jamiroquai.
Welcome to the European League of Legends Championship Series.
Brother, let me try.
Wait, brother. Let us break this instead, brother.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
What is this, brother?
Perfection.
Ah, a new champion. Welcome to my shop. You'll need the right build. Choose wisely, because every upgrade brings you closer to the next level. So tell me, how will you level up?
Want to find your fastest server every time? Express like a pro and optimize your connection in one tap. Express in game without ISP throttling. Express and shield yourself from DDoS attacks. Express and choose the VPN trusted by gamers everywhere. Express VPN. Experience gaming the Express way. Fast, stable, competitive. Outplay the world. It's time to Express. Unlock free Hextech rewards, exclusive skins, and more. Scan to subscribe.
In your best man speech, you said my wife is funnier than me.
That's factually correct.
Okay.
We're in range.
Nah, it's fine, man. It's fine. Relax. I've got this. I have years and years and years of experience.
Yeah, but it's gonna.
And there we go. Look at that. What are you so worried about?
Oh,
Okay, well, he still has the TP. Cats might die, though. Yike is here! Flash and the audacity to find the kill in mid.
Nice, guys. Yummy. Nice. Can go. I'll go anywhere. Okay. Is that to be? No, they have to go. Attack on more. Up in the air. Up in the air. I'll get back.
Nice. Now we're back, baby. Previous player talent doesn't hit him. There's a shockwave killer instant combo. Beautiful! Beautiful from Kallistan Yahoo!
Good job, guys. Just look at it shows up, okay? Just take it slow, please, okay? For next one.
And here we go. The last game in the Adidas Arena, the last game here in Paris, and what a game it is shaping up to be. KC had right of first selection. They took second pick. G2 are going to be on the blue side. Let's see where we hit with the bans, because we were talking it through. There's still quite a few powerful picks available.
Yeah, I mean, the picks that come to mind are the Camille, the LEC, the Nivea, the Casio. I think those are the main ones to me that I'm looking at. Poppy ban, obviously, setting up the Camille first pick. We have seen teams trade the Camille for the LEC. So far, Casey has banned LEC every single game this series. We'll have to see if it's going to go through. But then again, there is the Casio on red side. Flex potential is so powerful.
Yeah. But it will be a Nocturne and a LEC ban. KC actually have banned LEC every single game they played. this weekend. Not even just the series. They really don't want to see that champion pick. And now G2 with their final ban. Could look towards the Anivia. That's something that's not.
Ich war schon mit 1 HP.
Could look towards the Casio. The Vi is already taken away.
Yeah. Especially junglers getting pretty pinched here. The things we're looking at now is like Wukong, Pantheon. I think could be angles you could go for. Rumble, obviously taken away from Kana.
Wukong ist gut.
It's one of his comfort picks.
Red Bull jetzt? Nein, dann ist das Ding over. Sorry, jetzt ein Red Bull, dann ist das Ding over.
His time in the LEC. So what is it going to be? G2 is going to be the Camille or is it going to be the Casio or the Anivia?
It feels like Camille is solid, right? You have a Shen and a Leona already removed from the pool, but it's going to be Anivia instead. Can be played top, of course. We've seen it from Broken Blade before.
Ja, Shen, Leona ist raus.
One team gets Camille, Casio. Feels like a little bit of a robbery.
So, wie machen wir's?
So far trading up. Now, obviously, G2 can choose to answer into Camille and can choose whichever jungler they want. I think dropping jungle right now is very dangerous, considering how pinched the position already is.
Especially when you want physical damage, often from your jungle. You need some extra to top up the fact we've been playing so many mages bot. Mel's still available as well if we do want to go down that mage bot route.
Lucian Milio mag ich.
G2 are going to try and solidify their bottom lane. It's going to be the Lucian here for Hans Summer. We've already seen him bring it out once this weekend.
We did see a fantastic Lucian Milio performance earlier today by Vitality Carsey and Vitality Fleshy.
This would
Tarik
be spicy.
is being hovered. I'm not gonna be a hover guy, but it's locked in.
Tarik.
Is super exciting.
Also das Problem ist, dass Tarik halt deutlich langsamer auf der Map bewegt.
It's really good when a team engages into you, which, guess what? Camille wants to do. I will say Tarik is going to have to run after Camille on the map. Camille is going to run around the map, and Tarik is going to have to predict where she's going to go to match it. Because if Tarik is there when she goes, it's all good.
Boah, Caitlyn ist ein Turbo-Pick.
Such a long range of engage. She can just jump.
Caitlyn ist ein Turbo-Pick, aber sie darf nicht all-in werden.
Next to his carry.
First Tarik of summer season. We've seen 2 of them this year in major regions. One from Mickey and one from Elio over in the LCP. It's the 5th time that Tarik has been locked in for LeBron across his career as well. 3-1 on it. Last played it in World's Play-ins against CFO. Caitlyn the answer for KC. And now we move into the second phase of bans with the Skarner taken away by Carmine Corp.
I mean, this is my worry for an early pick Tarik.
Junge, was ist das?
You are showing that you are going for the anti-dive so early. Casey could just draft a long-range comp, a poke comp that doesn't really commit. Sure, you have the Camille, but you don't need to draft 4 other commit champions. With the Caitlyn, I think that's what we're aiming for. Has so many options, because Tarik, if you do not go in straight into him, doesn't have that much value.
Unless you have some engage of your own, because then you can Bastion and get the dazzle on someone going in.
Like a Master Yi jungle?
Oh, Master Yi jungle. I was thinking Nocturne, but that is banned away. So Master Yi jungle. Xinxia would do a similar thing.
Yeah, and Wukong still up and available. Neither team has picked their junglers. With so many jungle bans, you're going to have to dig deep into the pool.
Could be that neither team's picked their top laners as well. This Anivia can go in the hands of Caps, can be flexed, of course, for Broken Blade. So where are G2 going to go with their final ban? They got rid of the Vayne, trying to shore up that top side.
I'm suspecting that Nivea goes into the Casio. Not very good lane matchup, but just having that control when she gets that catalyst, she can just really control the mid lane, deny Casio from moving around.
I'm really feeling Sion from G2.
Oh, I absolutely agree,
Vayne bans with a Tarik there as well. You're going to have an impenetrable front line.
Yeah, Sion definitely is a good shout. Seems quite likely. Trundle. I mean, the other champion you could go for is Gnar if you want to blind. The problem is if you blind Sion, you run into a Gnar from Kana quite easily. And that is
how much you mind that?
I mean, it's not a fantastic matchup. Double up with that it's Kana or Gnar.
True.
I think maybe you should reconsider picking the Sion and maybe just go for a Nivea top. We'll have to see where G2 ends up going.
Olaf ist gegoatet für wen? Für G2? Blind Pick? Schwierig.
Is picked from Yike.
Na, ist noch offen. Schwierig.
You could go AP, you could go tank. Skarner's already gone.
You could go Maokai if you want to, an old classic. Or it's the Olaf.
Okay.
That is
again,
a classic.
We can't be sure if it's jungle or top lane. We don't see as
Olaf jungle
these days.
Ja.
Fine matchup. You can kind of reset your Ragnarok on his clone.
Mit Tarik, ja. Okay. Okay, ja.
Jungle now. Galio, the current hover. There's the Nav as well.
It could be Galio mid and a Nivea top then. We do not really know quite yet. A lot of flexibility.
And I love the circles.
Finde ich den Jutsu-Draft so geil.
You got the Anivia circle,
It's like
you got the
slightly
Galio
expanding
circle.
blue circles.
Was pickt er jetzt in Tony wieder rein? Geht irgendwas Cheesiges? Hallo, Honey. Hallo, Han.
The Galio R, we'll see where Kana takes this. Looks like it's an Anivia top line pick. It's not super fun to play. Nor into that. Jace is still
banned. It was played in game one.
Yeah. I'm trolling. Yone has been played before by Kana into the Nivea.
Yone into Anivia. That piece of shit Draft, oder?
Champion to play.
Not something we see too often from Kana either. It obviously has it in his wheelhouse.
Hoffe, geht's gut. Ja, ich hoffe euch doch auch.
Got a huge amount of games.
Sehe ich, die kommt von KC hier.
Last time we saw it
Busy low range, oder?
He's only played it this year.
Yeah.
Like he'd never played it before.
It's his pick into Nivea. He's had good success so far throughout the year, and I want to see what it does with this, because very volatile team come from KC. You have a lot of high agency champions with the Camille, with the Yone, with the Wukong. Meanwhile, G2, a brick wall. Hansama on the Lucian, Caps on the Galio that would peel.
Ich finde beide Drafts nicht so geil, muss ich gestehen.
Havoc in the backline and frontline of KC. It's gonna be tough to navigate these team fights for KC, but I want to see how they manage the early game first.
Let's have a moment for the crowd here. The last time we're gonna hit
Crowd macht doch richtig Meter.
here in Paris. In full voice, their support thrown behind those 5 men on stage. Those 5 men that have been so close recently to beating G2, to taking that championship, but have fallen short at the final hurdle. This game does not equate to that. This is not a title match. This is not even playoffs, but it feels like it. 10,000 voices behind the boys in blue, and those 5 in red on the other side of the stage trying to silence them again.
We'll see what the plan is for KC in this early game. Busio already
Die waren der ersten beiden Games, waren beide Stomps.
Kalist gets the ward. And I'll tell you straight up.
Also an sich mag ich den G2 Draft, aber mal schauen. Yone bin ich mir unsicher.
No clue whatsoever.
Olaf von der Ghost fühlt sich falsch an, ist aber fein im Jungle.
Camille hookshot with your Tarek stun. Because you can just walk to the left after she lands. You need to be really precise on the timing. It's not like another CC champion where you can just match it.
I guess the argument is if you Bastion Hansama, so you put your W on him, you then have 2 angles of dazzling.
Yeah, one of them
right?
should hit.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And if you do it when she jumps to the wall, perhaps it's enough time for you to find it. First push will come out. It will be Kalist and Busio getting it. Yehu here behind the wave. Going to force Caps away. Something we see so often with the Casio. You just use those twin fangs to constantly harass your enemy laners.
Does burn a bit of mana, but secures the lane push. Labrov lands the stun onto Busio.
Jumps in with a hookshot, walls up just short. Adaptive defense is coming out as Hansama's going to try and trade back in. There's the heal as well. Busio takes another auto from Hans. And it won't be enough to chunk him out too much. He pops a potion. Hansama running the bow into the Doran's blade of Kalist. So Hansama a little bit squishier in that lane.
I mean, the Doran's blade is something we see less and less of these days. Most people are opting in for the gold effect.
Ist der T1 Galio Skin, ja.
Or the helmet, even in top.
Wieder mit Chroma, glaube ich, ne?
Caps taking a lot of damage in this lane.
Flash Frost into a Frostbite. That's a lot of damage onto Kana as well. It's the risk of a range into melee. We talk about it every time it comes up. Dazzle Flash onto Kalist. He has exhaust, but he's exhausted. Hansama going in. First blood, G2.
Das ist stark.
Strike first, G2. Punished the Camille
Das war stark.
diving in together.
Fantastic aggression showed by the G2 bot lane.
Ja, das ist T1 ohne Chroma. Ohne Chroma.
For a second. The moment they hit at level 2, they knew that they were winning that all in so well. Whether this is
Seit wann spielt er mit Skins wieder?
or anything, they were so
Mit Aerodank von den 17.
No flashes, no summoners, no heal. Hansama's going to get healed up a little bit
Tarek
by
has
the
a lot of
Rob.
healing.
Tarek muss die ganze Zeit Auto-attacken.
From Busio, the dazzle only
Nee.
connects onto the clone, and Hans is down. Lebrov
Okay.
leaves him for dust as KC strike back in bot.
And I'll tell you this, Medic, the crowd love that play. As Caps tries to see us a little bit under tower here.
I mean,
Gets the recall.
The only problem for KC off that play is Yike is delayed, right? You can see Skumon's actually finished his clear, now has a longsword and a ruby crystal, and is running out towards this bot side scuttle because he knows Yike has only done 4 camps. Yike currently finishing up his blue buff, but Skumon will be there first with a damage advantage.
Absolutely. And Skumon will try to secure double crab for himself. Might be difficult for Yike. His blue buff still up and available is level 3. to level 4 of Skumon.
I mean, Skumon could even just look for the
He's just gonna go in there.
Busio is topside. He's looking for Broken Blade. Will at least try and get his flash away. Lebrov is here with Skumon.
Yeah, Broken Blade respects this. It's gonna be huge for G2.
Yeah, Yike comes across. The Undertow's gonna land. Yike does
Flash off. Doch, hat noch.
cone, but with the Undertow landing again, Skumon gets on the right side of the blast cone. He's gonna chase him down. The
Yike
Viking
muss flashen.
wants blood.
Nicht flashen.
Yike flashes under the tower. The wall comes in, but Broken Blade's gonna get egged. He's already used the
So.
flash.
Tot. Lieve Tempo. Wow.
Broken Blades to the arc.
Geil.
The dive, Kalist flashes away, puts a snapshot down, and Lebrov just survives, doesn't get hit by that last tower. Behind there. Oh, the Undertow. The Undertow looking to send you to the underworld, as you say. Top TP in from Broken Blade. Looks like Busi's going to reset. Kalist tries to get away from the dazzle, but Skumon can just walk in and send Kalist to Valhalla. Skumon takes 2 tower shots, a third. Not enough. The shield coming out from the Vicious strikes in the end.
Oh Gott.
Even the
Ja, danke schön.
party would die there, erupting as that last tower shot came. And I don't blame Broken Blade for dying there, because the Camille coming top when Yike is in so much danger.
Freeze die Wave oder lässt ihn sich rein slow pushen damit mit der Wall. Ist
Not
gut.
a common play. Busio sacking the bot side to
Mal sehen, Cassio ist scary. Cassio und Kaden.
Translated into something more.
But you look at the goal leads for KC. Top, mid, jungle, all ahead. Busio ahead. Only Hans Summer has an individual lead
Ja, aber darf wieder mindestens
for G2. It's a 400 goal lead for KC, and as you say, Raptors alongside it. Yike making up for the fact that he'd lost double scuttle by going in, invading with the rest of his lineup.
KC outscale, also Cassio plus Caitlyn sind schon gefährlich. Der Olaf muss extrem ahead sein, damit er useful ist.
That's not ideal at all, but the rest of the map is getting ahead.
Das ist meine Wahrnehmung.
It's very, very annoying because you lose that control. Caitlyn is all about control, and the moment you lose it, it's really hard to regain it. Against a champion like Lucian, Lucian really wants to dash constantly, being aggressive. And with Lebrov by his side, I think Hansama is feeling himself a little bit.
Understandable. Starlight's touch comes out, heals him up. Good peeled over Peacemaker out from Kalist. Busio in the vicinity.
And Skumon is back in Yike's jungle. He's just living here now. He put down a camp by the Grump. He's eating the frogs.
Gobbling up those toads, man. Yeah. Hans Summer taking a tower shot that he didn't need to. Starlight's touch heals him up a little bit. They should be able to get at least most of this first plate. Another Starlight's touch. You don't know, when Tarek auto attacks, he gets that heal back up quicker.
Yeah.
You want to get those extra couple of auto attacks in. It looks like it's just going to be a Drake for Skumon after stealing away the Grom. Couple of pings coming out on the blue side jungle of G2 from G2 saying there's a possibility Yike has gone in and stolen this Grump and these wolves, so Broken Blade be a little bit cautious.
Yeah. And Neve is quite
Ja, die Drake-Deck gehen sehr gut.
though. She can really manage to wave however she wants.
Yeah.
She can even wall off her own
Ja,
weapon if she
ja,
wants to
genau.
go into her.
Perfekt.
So she has a lot of tools to be completely left alone. And it's also why you see Skumon walk into the enemy bot side at every given moment that he can. Just to put pressure on Kalist.
Dazzle short.
Comes
Carlindo.
out.
I mean, Kalist is able to sidestep it enough that he doesn't take too much of a chunk of his HP.
Yeah.
Looks like Hans Summer just does want to reset. There's the invade from like we were talking about could materialize, and it has as he goes in for that Gromp.
Broken Blade has the catalyst though. I think it'll be quite difficult to dive unless he takes a silly trade here from Kana.
50 seconds on his egg, so he's got a little while before that second life comes up. Dazzle on Busio, not going to do too much. Glacial Augment, a rune we don't see too often these days, being run there by Lebrov for the slow and the damage reduction. But Skumon is just forcing Kalist away. Like, this Caitlyn is full-on vegan, and not the good sort of vegan that finds their protein and their vitamins from other sources. This is the I'm having cucumber sandwiches sort of vegan, you know, as Busio underneath the tower. Flash
Oh mein Gott.
doesn't connect as Busio is able to hookshot wall dive away.
Nasty as fuck, Labro.
Flashes, it puts the
Flash for den Kill.
Starlight's touch for a little bit extra damage on the Light Slinger. Undertow out as well. Busio's flash
Kill on
about
Olaf.
to come off cooldown, but it's too little too
Okay.
late as Hans Summer secures his second.
And there's a growing threat in the bot lane, and his name is Hans Sama. Now 900 gold up on Kalist at only 7 minutes into the game. And we've seen him play a few mages, but we know how good he can be on these 80 carries.
I think the question that comes up in my mind now
Wir haben schon Support, ja, ist eine gute Frage.
we see Kano ahead
Snowballen ist halt wichtig, I guess.
dive threat from KC.
Olaf ahead, Lucian ahead ist wichtig.
Camille, is having just a big Lucian enough for G2? Do they have enough tools to protect Hans Summer with the Cosmic Radiance, with Caps coming in with the Hero's Entrance, to actually allow Hans Sommer to survive that initial punch that's going to come in from KC.
I mean, I think they have so much disengage with the Nivea, with the Galio, with the Taric. I think they're really good. I fear a little bit for Kalista in these fights because he doesn't have any peel against the Olaf.
Yeah.
The Olaf is going to run straight at him, and sure, if Kana is hitting the Olaf, I think he needs to be a little bit mindful of it. He can't just go straight for Kalist. But if they're slacking on the peeling department at any given moment, Scumanus is going to run over Kalist in every team fight.
Makes sense. Lucio hovering around the back here so he can hookshot wall dive forward if Hans Sommer, so he uses his relentless pursuit aggressively. Still leads for Kana and for Yike and for Yehu and for Busio. Slight for Yike and Busio, sub 100 gold, but Yehu has developed quite an advantage in this mid lane. To be expected in the Cassio into Galio matchup. Galio's much more trying to survive and absorb the pressure than be able to get too much.
Ja, die Caitlyn darfst du nicht allein lassen.
Tank first as Caps is. Flash Rods from Broken Blade doesn't connect. Does put down the Glacial Storm, and Kana just sits in it for a little while. Broken Blade needs to be careful. Fate Sealed comes out, does still have the egg. Broken Blade walking away, there's the egg.
Wow, greedy oder nicht?
But Kana needs to be cautious on this. Goes in with another Mortal Seal. That in the end won't have the damage crystallized down. He'll use the Q3 away. Caps trading in the picture, but Scumon there. I don't think Casey want to go too much deeper. Busio has the Hexagon Maiden as they look for Yehu. LeBron and Hans Sommer coming in to join the party. Dazzle flashed away by Yehu.
Busio hat Flash.
Out, but Busio has no escape. Did have the flash, decided not to utilize it.
Okay.
As G2 find their fourth.
Das Game mich low-key over für wen?
Medic, you must be in agony seeing Camille do so poorly in this early game. I know you really love that champion, and I think this is kind of the issue with Camille. In the end, she's a double-edged sword. You're gonna have games where early doesn't go as you want.
Cassio ist sehr OP, halt gegen die Gegner kommt deswegen, ja.
Unless you are an extremely creative player, you really need to find those specific angles to find impact. If you don't have a strong landing phase.
I mean, Busio's first win on the Camille was this weekend.
Yeah.
He can sometimes struggle on it. I will say he's got other ultimates and other champions on his team that can follow up at Hexagon made him even if he's massively behind.
Yes.
Like if he does find a good flank, as you say. Kalist looking for Caps here. Busio's on his way across. There's the exhaust. Torn out will land on both. Caps going to try and get in range for a Justice Punch, but there's no real way for him to go. And he cannot escape the clutches.
Horrible death, hallo Ronald.
It's a good play.
Horrible death.
Caps expected him to recall, and they would reassign the lanes, but old-fashioned tempo trap together with Busio moving over there gets Caps on the bottom side of the map.
Big kill for Kalist as well. Goes back, gets himself the what are they called? Grievous boots.
The glutinous greaves.
Gluttonous greaves, thank you.
The gluten-free shoes.
Left my brain for a second there. And the Hex Optics. Hans Sommer will use the fact that there was a tempo trap, so Kalist then had to reset to get himself more damage on this tower. Should pick up the plate. Yeah, gets the extra 110 out of that in the end.
Gluttonous greaves.
G2 got the first. We'll see if they can force for the second.
Yeah, let's see what G2 wants to do here. You could look to invade, but Busio is not here.
Oh, did you see that?
Oh,
so Broken Blade walls off the minion wave. The minions walk around. Busio has to step back. And now Kana is going in. No wave. He's storm out. It's incredibly organized. Face Seal doesn't connect either. Hexagon made him. This dive has gone all kinds of wrong for KC.
Well-played von Bibi. Sehr well-played von Bibi.
Perfectly, and this dive going kind of wrong for G2 as well.
Oh my God.
Und Yike ist auch tot.
The whole block by LeBron as everyone misses everything. Scumon and Yehu trying to get away here as Hans
Passiert da?
side of this wall. Yehu can try and chase him out. Caps is coming and Caps is going and it's Caps coming. He has a hero's entrance.
Wow.
You're gonna leave it.
Dass Kalista leben darf.
LeBron trying to predict Kalist's flash. Ends up looking a little bit silly. Yike did end up dying. It's a 1-for-0 in favor of G2, but those are two very messy dives at the same time.
Yeah, that was very messy.
Yeah.
Neither of the dives worked, but someone still dived, I guess. As Scumon has a 400 gold lead now on the solo for the experimental hex plate complete. The dragon is still up, and it looks like KC are making a beeline for it.
So let's see what happened to Yike here. He's trying to run down there to save Kalist, but Kalist doesn't end up needing saving, and it's Yike who ends up dying here. Warrior Trickster kites towards Yehu, but in the end, the Olaf doesn't care. Olaf does not care that you're kiting into your Cassio, because she can't do anything about him, because he's unstoppable, by the way. It's a miracle that Kalist survives this, because, I mean, he should by all means be dead.
I mean, so should Bibi, let's be honest, right? Like, they both played it well, but In the end, the dives didn't really work. KC do manage to take the Infernal Drake, their first of the game.
That's very important.
Yeah.
Being able to stall out that salt point.
Well, Skumon's just going to chase this. Has Ragnarok, uses it early. Petrifying Gaze is here.
Geiler Play.
Yike realizes.
Geiler Play, Mann.
Here, backs away. The edge of the taunt still can.
Geiler Play, Part 2, geht weiter.
Yike flashes out and will manage to escape. The Winds of War, not enough damage. Meanwhile,
Kallis auch noch tot.
just absolutely decimates Kallis with a good trap. Kallis answers with one back. Busio still looking to see if he can find this engage because Kana's on his way and has that fate sealed. Ignite down as well. The taunt.
Caps spielt das so geil. Wow.
Doesn't land. Fate sealed. Caps almost dies. Dashes back in with a Justin Punch. Come on, Tarek. Back up for Yike. Tarek, can you survive? Can LeBron live through this? The answer
Oh, NT.
is a resounding no as the crowd tells you what they think.
And this is what we expected from this game. It's a scrappy display of skills. Busio, for me, the MVP of that fight. He played it so well. Spacing back and forward, and G2 bit off a little bit more than they can chew. They thought they could get Yike as well, but when the Ragnarok is out, the Olaf is burnable. He cannot go so deep.
Credit to Kalista as well. We didn't quite see it, but he got a 1-for-1 in a 2v1 in mid lane with a good snap trap. Hans Summer still 700 gold ahead, but Kana is equally far ahead in the top side.
Yes, let's see what happened mid-air.
So they go in with a dazzle. Good
Schön. Komplette One-Shot.
Kalista, the trap is down, and Hans steps into it. Too delicious, that cupcake.
I mean, it was a beautiful cupcake. I don't blame him. Here, Skumon. It's an easy kill onto Yehu, but it's after this kill onto Yehu where Skumon turns his head towards Yike. Caps connects the taunt there, makes them believe that they can kill him. But the moment he flashes out, they have committed a little bit too far. And I want you to look at Busio at this moment. The way he navigates this scenario is just exquisite. You're gonna see him wait until Kana is just in range and dance back and forward. Dodge perfectly spacing out the Galio taunt, baits Caps in, and ends up securing 2 more kills for KC.
And then the Mega Blast Cone brings Yike into the midst of the action, and above. Unfortunately for him, Tarek can't survive through this, and he doesn't have the help of his jungler who's just across the wall. Riftel picked up for G2. Very even game, 1,000 gold lead for KC. Most of that sitting on Kana's shoulders, but Yehu also has an advantage, as does Busio, who's got that Sundered Sky complete. I love the Knight's Vow from LeBron, an underutilized item in my estimations. Caps dodge.
Wow, Caps mit dem E. Wow.
Hextech ultimatum's a little bit too deep, but not too much damage for G2, so they can't chase Busio. Riftel being used on the top side.
Yeah, KC don't get the bot dive off now. Let's see what happens on the top side. G2 has put down the Herald, securing the tower for Broken Blade. Probably gonna drive it into the next tower as well.
Yeah, Skumon gets in, takes a little driving lesson towards that top tower. Lebrov caught out, has to flash. The taunt from Cap still lands onto Yike. Culling in the mid lane, trying to force Kallis back. Does exactly that, but doesn't have the damage stick. Yehu defending well in top lane after the Rift charges in. They don't get too much more out of that tier 2 tower.
Let's see, can Caps hold this tower? Cannot once, the hot stack it once.
I mean, he's going to take a couple of auto attacks from the tower here.
Yeah.
Down to about a third.
Big chunk. In the end, well defended by G2 on the cross map. Well,
Danke für den 100 Bits.
He doesn't really end up getting anything from that player. Meanwhile, G2 getting a nice gold influx for their top jungle.
What a series, dude.
What a series.
What a series
We're
to
eating
end
good
your
here in France,
weekend on.
Medic. We're eating so good here in France.
The KC crowd has not stopped chanting since KC got back into the game. There was a bit of silence at the start when Hans Summer was getting ahead, but a couple of plays have got KC back into this. Even Steven, 70 minutes in, a Drake apiece. The only difference really, the fact that KC have 3 grubs.
Yeah, for me, the player to watch in this game is gonna be Skumon. On this Olaf, historically, always does so well into Yike. Now an Angry Viking with a Tarek next to him, I don't really see KC's comp having an answer to it. They really need to try to kite out his Ragnarok, and if they can't do that, someone is going down for sure.
2 Items auf Skumon schon.
For the moment, G2 are setting up around this bot side to look to try and take the tower, but Kana, with his Blade of the Ruin King complete, is a massive deal to deal with. Very difficult, very tricky. As you say, I think Skumon, when it comes to team fights, can be really impactful, but KC have a lot of good pick tools. If they're looking for these small jumps, dash across the wall with the Warrior Trickster from Yike into a hookshot wall dive as well from Busio. You can quite easily pick one person off. G2 will pick off this Drake and no real contest from KC. They're willing to give it, only second of the game. We talked about why getting that Inferno was so important. You see it there. Fate Sealed coming out as Broken Blade still has the egg. Good stun as well onto Kana. Busio and Yehu waiting around the corner. As the tower ultimate down, Cosmic Radiance has been invested just to make sure Skumon doesn't die, and that's another thing you have to worry about if you're KC.
Yeah, I've noticed the habit in KC, when they're giving a dragon, they're playing a little bit unconventional. I'm gonna hold that thought, okay, we're fine, we're safe. They don't go for a cross map when they want to give the dragon. Instead, they camp on the side. The dragon was taken on the now by the Yike here, uses Cyclone to try and get away.
Geiler Play, oder? Ne, nicht geiler Play. Oh mein Gott. Holy fuck.
A flash away from Skumon. Meanwhile, the tower on the bot side is gonna fall.
Jesus.
Unrelenting pressure.
Yeah, Yike was spinning.
Ein bisschen länger, 2 Minuten, glaube ich. Ist die, obwohl, er hat viel CD, ja. Weiß nicht. Jesus.
Yeah, using your flash for a crab is something we've seen a few times.
Yeah, it's a textbook play for every jungler to have.
Hansama at 2 items, as is Kalist, who, even though he's almost 1,000 gold behind, has been able to keep up in terms of CS and in terms of effective items. The tower in the mid lane still stands, as does the one in bot for KC.
Yeah, QSS picked up Arcana now. I think he's gonna do something cheeky with that. Try to ignore some of the CC from either Labrov or Broken Blade.
I mean, that's what you get out of the taunt, you get out of the
platform. 80 base, yeah.
Dazzle, right?
And it gives you MR, because you really don't want to buy Mercs on your own. You really want those Berserker Greaves. So by buying QSS, you screw a little bit of MR, can deal with that CC. I think it's a clever pickup. Let's see how he uses it.
20 seconds on the Baron. A sneak would be possible for either of these teams. They both have the damage for it, but you got to set up vision around it. Caps and Yehu are battling.
Ich meine, der war wahrscheinlich auf Vialia bezogen. Oh, Busio.
Ragnarok out as well from Skumon as he looks for the chase, but he can't auto too much longer because Yehu is on the flank. Yike going low. LeBron
Wow.
Wow.
Das war halt so geil von Skumon gelöst wieder.
That tried to gobble up the cheese. G2 now looking for Yehu, who with a noxious blast had to flash. Petrifying gaze, the dazzle doesn't connect.
Und Hans hat sich falsch mispositioned oder repositioned. Stark von Hans. Well played. Er ist down.
G2 is spelled where he stands, and just as I talked about the Baron, it feels like G2 have it on their mind.
And KC sends everything, kitchen sink, microwave, bread toaster, everything gets sent into killing Broken Blade and Skumon. But Skumon is unstoppable. Broken Blade has the egg, and G2 ends up collapsing before anyone goes down. It's a fantastic punish by G2. Great movement there, great response. And they will be rewarded with
Lost exhaust, Blight exhaust damage reduction, ja, sollte. Was macht der denn?
No. Did not need to be there. Just didn't. Maybe he was thinking it would be delayed enough that Yike could jump across the wall and see it, but let's have another look at this play.
Let's see this. It's once again Busio. He finds Broken Blade here. Thinks Kana is in range to follow up, but it's quite difficult because he needs the ER, and then Broken Blade can use Popcorn out. And they're having some split threats. You see, half of them are hitting Broken Blade, half
Richtig gut von Skumon.
and no one ends up going down. I think they thought initially they should go on Anivia, but then she has eggs, so they changed their mind. And here Yehu, he's just caught way too far behind enemy lines. And Asama flashing forward secures the kill.
Oh, Kana stepping forward here. Broken Blade with the Crystallize. Mortal Steel will land the knockup, but Kana taken down before he can snap back to reality. His knees taken out from underneath him as Hansama continues to push in the side lane. He's 3,000 gold ahead. That's a full item on this AD carry. The Novori Flicker Blades flickering the HP of this tower down.
I mean, it's definitely very bougie.
Hans ist komplett broke. Komplett broken.
In goes Busio.
Tries to get in.
Aber mach. Okay. Oh mein Gott, er lebt. Holy shit.
Only the Anivia that's sent to the Spirit Realm. Skumon trying to heal up off the Scuttlecraft.
Gotta get the clap
with a smite. There's TP wards behind and TP up for Kana in 6 seconds. G2 don't really have a way out of this situation.
Yeah, Caps has ultimate. He could come in.
Ja, die müssen... Ja, oh, war ja. Sie haben Terry Gold. Was macht Busio da? Was hat Busio da? Was hat... Oh mein Gott. Hans. Oh, Hans Sidestep war doch gut. Raus.
KC have bitten back in game 3.
And it's a hot pursuit by KC. They caught.
Es gehen da keine 5 Minuten gehen. Nee, 2 Minuten beginnt der LCS.
They wanted even more and ran them all the way down to bot lane. G2, they're trying to run for the river to get in the grab, but the TP, as you highlighted, Medic, by Kana comes in clutch. And G2 tried to fight their way out of it. But in the end, we're gonna rewatch this. Broken Blade goes down. Busio, E, flash, E catches him on the angle. And now as they're running away, Olaf does not want to run away. He wants to run in. G2 makes a run towards bot lane, takes the grab.
It's these wards from earlier that really begin to separate it for G2. They try and get...
Was hat Bruce hier gerade gemacht? Oh mein Gott.
This is a superb culling from Hans Summer as well. Just get those final couple of shots in.
And Caps is a little bit too late because they're running away from his ult range. They're kiting into the area that is KC's base, so Caps can't get the ult. He runs in, doesn't manage to have a big impact in his fights. Hansama thankfully runs away with his life and doesn't give over a 1k bounty.
It's the same with the Cosmic Radiance. It comes down because Busio jumps over the wall, but then KC don't actually follow up. They wait it out, then they put the damage down. Really nicely done from KC overall. Still a big lead for G2, but it all sits on Hansama.
Hansbot flash.
And Kalist is now at 3 items.
I mean, he is the man of the moment. Hansama is the man to watch. If he lives, KC will die. He needs to be on the radar. Flank from Yike, flank from Busio, Kana from the sideline. They need to be able to get onto him, or they will lose out in a pure front-to-back team fight.
Oh wait, LCS beginnt erst in 10 Minuten, wir sind fein. LCS beginnt erst in 10 Minuten, ne? Wir leben.
With Yahoo here, the chase really isn't on, especially with Busio not being clipped by that. It looks like KC, the lead on Kana, nowhere near as monumental as it was. Only 500 gold now, but Yahoo does have about a K. The important thing for G2 is Caps being behind actually doesn't matter too much. He's got the Imperial Mandate, and he's already in a position where he can do everything he needs to in a fight. After this, maybe a little bit of AP, but much more likely tankiness to try and survive if a fight goes long.
Yeah, I mean, Cap's job is literally just press R on Hansama the moment they go into him. Hansama is the star of this game. The man to watch. BB trying to catch a wave here. He needs to be a little bit careful. Busio can still get on him. Egg up and available, but you don't want to lose it for no reason. It's Caps pushing out top. Sama recalling. That will most likely be a Lord Dominic's in his inventory coming out from base.
Very
That's
close.
a 4-item Lucian AD carry.
Oh, it's
Mortal reminder even.
Yeah, he goes
Was?
Mortal. Well, we couldn't tell at the time.
Was?
We had a last whisper and a quick cloak.
So?
You know,
could be either way.
Yeah.
Kann man zweimal 1 von nein.
In the end, he got his crit, he got his armor pen, he's happy.
I guess there's not a huge amount of armor on KC, so it does make sense if you want to reduce that healing coming out from the Cassio, from the Yone, who has his Immortal Shield Bow now. Baron the next setup, 55 seconds on it. Not a huge amount of vision for KC past the middle point of the map, but nor for G2. There's a couple of wards here you can see on the Razor Beaks. KC have a couple around the Baron as well, but G2 are the ones stepping in and getting that next line of vision.
Yeah, I think right now they're just getting a shallow line of vision.
Yeah.
Warum Mortal?
Side camps. Once they
Naja.
clear those camps, so LeBron is gonna put a shallow line.
Ja, QSS ja, und das ist halt 1,3k,
He's
wirklich.
done with his
Ja.
camps. They're gonna walk in and try to get a little bit deeper vision and slowly take more space in the jungle of KC.
Yahoo wondering if he can step forward. I asked production to check. Knight's Vow has mitigated 1,500 damage this game.
It's less than I expected, to be honest.
It's also, I think Hans hasn't really been touched too much, I'll be honest. It's still like substantial, it still matters, but it's not quite as much as you would think. Maybe it will go up, where it will go up, because either
Der Cassio-Item-Bild schmerzt so sehr. Wirklich, er schmerzt so sehr.
Yeah, in the end, Hansama hasn't died because like they just went on him. He's died because he stepped in the traps on the tower and such. So has done its job.
Credit to him as well, positioning well mostly in these fights. So he had to play in mid, as you say, but when it comes to the actual battle, he's able to step behind that front line. Dazzle, Caps flashes for it.
Ui. Schön von Kalist, Mann.
Yeah, Kalist reads the play very well. Responds before Caps flashes. Ends up getting to safety because that was spell his doom if that.
Gerade nur auf Olaf. Der ist so ein Monster.
Top here is still not responded to. You don't really want to put Caps into Kana. It's a very hard lane for the Galio at this point. He's just going to be able to get plates and plates and plates by the minute.
You're just winds of warring the wave and then hoping that Kana doesn't go on you.
Yeah.
As Hansama goes in with the coming, Kalist with a good 90 caliber net as well. Does eat some of it. Hansama flash.
Holy.
Has to flash away. Broken Blade.
Lol. Lol.
With a glacial storm.
Nash? Nash dat?
Brings down Kalist, who it seemed like
Yike got out of dodge. G2 could go Baron here. They're pinging the Baron. Caps is catching the top wave. They're going to walk as a 4-man and start this. KC does not have the...
Der Rocket Bell also, ja.
To make sure that Kana doesn't have a good flank position here, because a good fate sealed could spell disaster for G2. Yike can also get into the back of the pit. There's only one ward around it as LeBron tries to act as a bouncer, but they're going for the Drake instead.
Yeah, look at G2 BB. He's marking Kana, make sure he can't get into it.
Geben Drake. Das heißt, da müssen jetzt 2 Nips kommen. Da müssen jetzt 2 Nips kommen.
Can G2 use this Baron? If they don't snowball with this Baron, this is actually a net winner for KC. Getting this Dragon, securing Salt Point, could be the decider if G2 doesn't play well with this Baron buff.
Yeah, gotta snowball it, gotta take as many of these towers as possible. And the inhibitor...
Der Gameplay nicht so toll, genau, deswegen müssen jetzt 2 Nips kommen.
Not a huge amount of easy wave play.
Wow. Stark. Richtig gut.
Coming out on towards that bush, has to use the fate seal to get away. This will be a tower in the top lane for G2. They push their advantage with the Baron buff. The wave clear on KC, not the most substantial, and it's short range as well.
I mean, without fate seals, you can't dive anymore.
Yeah.
They're going with Skumon.
Skumon, Ragnarok jumps onto Yehu, tries to get those autos down to keep the Ragnarok rolling. Ace in the hole gets through, but Skumon survives. The rest of G2 were backing away from the top side. Caps now the one who's caught. Hexagon made him go down. He's waiting for that blast code. Uses the taunt, but the Justice Punch only finds him guilty.
Oh mein Gott, warte mal.
Need to retreat because KC can continue to collapse.
Oh, stark von LeBro. Super gut von LeBro.
And now Yike.
Und Yike hat keine Ulti.
For support, Kana's pushing through mid.
Broken wants to
Schaut auf Skewmont.
It's gonna be a slow shit. Skewmont is here with an axe, but Yike popcorns away from it. What is done by Labrov? Catches Yehu at the tail end of that fight. Caps ends up going down, but it's a 1-for-1 for G2. But still, KC holding on, getting the play they need. Kana didn't have Fate Seed, but they still go for Skewmont. He only has one way to run, and Caps ends up dying to try to save him.
Caps tries to get in the way. Skewmon manages to escape. This Hexagon ultimatum is what changes it. Because Caps gets to the blast cone, but if you pop it now, you're just going straight up.
And there's no counter bit to it. But look at the stun by Labrov. The presence of mind to find this in this moment, and they crystallize the boots. What a beauty.
Yehu was blind, but Labrov was not. And now the Baron, only a minute left on it. Inhibitor towers are 3 plates, 4 plates, 5 plates, not really chipped away at, as we've only had that one tier 2 in the top side. So when you talked about consequential advantage from that Baron, it's KC that actually won out.
I mean, right now, KC is very happy. KC is very happy with his outcome of that Baron.
G2, 40 seconds left.
One more wave on this Baron to try to crack this bot lane tower.
What do KC have? Well, they've got a flash on Busio, and in 6 seconds he'll have his Hexagon made. Here comes the push.
It's going to be crystallized and cooling. Those are your tools, but they're going on Caps.
Yike goes for Caps. No flash on him. Does have the Seeker's Justice Punch. The Inhibitor Tower will be forfeit as G2 do crack through the base. Caps still walking away. A Cyclone gets the slow. Another Justice Punch into the taunt will slow down Yike as he can't catch onto Caps. And meanwhile, G2 continue to push in.
Oh mein Gott. Okay. Nexus Hürde 1.
Now in tatters, the first Nexus Tower down as Kana has to use the face seal to get away.
Skewmont, Kozowski, ja, komm nicht weg.
G2, yeah, who getting chased out by the Viking, and he's all
Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott, der gegrieft.
Yike on his way out. No flash, no cyclone. G2
Müssen raus, oder?
A 4v5 in favor of KC, and G2 will be able to walk away. Busio can still chase. Has the flash, has
TP behind.
Doesn't stop Kalista and Kana from getting.
Aber keine Yike-Ulti. Busio hat Flash. Busio hat gegrieft. Hans. 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 Gestunt. Lebt. Hans. Kalis hittet. Oh mein Gott. Oh.
It looked scary, it looked terrifying for them.
Instant BT. Diese Caitlyn ist komplett OP, guys.
And it's a fantastic punish and a masterful TP by Yehu. The fact that Cassio comes from behind splits up G2 in this fight.
Keine Teilgulti halt, ne?
Sama trying to navigate it, getting healed, but it's the petrifying gaze here by Yehu. Just flips him. That creates the space for KC to walk forward. Delusion got stunned. Delusion cannot shoot you anymore. And it's Kalist. He makes the most out of that space. And then
Boah, dass der Q3 auch noch Hans klippt, ne? Ui.
Mortal Steel just clipping the edge of Hansama. And Kalist sends a headshot through his skull. KC, we have their soul up in 17.
Flash bei Kalist ab.
You won here in Paris. One Caitlyn. If you get this mid push right now, they could just set up all their traps in bot side, and G2's gonna walk into that. The risk is you go for Soul and G2 just push through mid. Look at them, they're trying to push down mid right now. There's only one Nexus tower remaining. Kalist will headshot the cannon minion. In terms of summoners, only Kalist has his flash for KC. Yehu on the sideline right now. He has secured a good flank for himself. He needs to create angles in his
Yahoo hat kein Flash.
No flash. Kana looking for flank as well. There's the Cullen. Busio at half.
Ui.
The Soul, the target. Broken Blade trying to come in is
Sie geben Soul. Oh, Kalist hat gegrieft. Kalist ist tot. Und Hans war nicht in Ult. Schaut auf Skewmont. Ist tot. Ist lost. Es ist over. Es ist over, ne? Oder gegen die gegen Nash. Wow, das war ohne Kalist, by the way. Hans war nicht in der Terry Goldie drin.
Let's have another look at it. Look at Kalist dies immediately. Yes, Kalist gets caught here by Broken It, but Hansama doesn't get the Terracles. He barely.
Oh mein Gott, der läuft raus aus der Terry Gold. Er wäre so oder so tot gewesen.
Connects onto Hansama. He can pump out so much more damage, but in the end it's just Skewmond as the solo damage dealer from G2, and he can't burst through the health bars of KC. It's a full team wipe. No, Caps manages to get out. Caps it's escapes. The Soul, it's the Baron, and suddenly the winds of victory is flowing.
QSS bei Kalist.
The only problem for KC, they have won the last two fights, but apart from Soul, they haven't got a huge amount out of it. They have 2.5 minutes on this Baron to start to push towards the G2 side of the map, because everything so far has been defensive, has been on the back foot. They are landing jabs. What they need to do is now step forward and hit a haymaker. Yeah, I mean, the problem is it feels like G2's ran out of damage. Hansama only has 2 guns. He cannot shoot all of KC at the same time.
Danke für den 17.
He's playing P, the Broken Blade is playing control. And Skewmond, his items, they don't really scale as well. You don't have the damage, you just run through Yehu or Kalist. It's all on Hansama. He needs to be the man that shuts down this onslaught of KC. KC undefeated on their road trips. They have not lost a single series when they have been in front of these fans. And here, where G2 were a Nexus tower away from victory, the wall stands strong. And now for G2, you are
Die Tiefe bei Hans auch. Mit Flash Advantage.
If you get a good Cosmic Radiance, if Hansama is untouched in the fight, you will burn through KC. You have enough damage, in my mind at least, from Hansama. Assuming he's protected. Yeah, the problem is the range right now. Kalist, Hex Optics, Rapid Fire Cannon. Caitlyn does so much damage, and she's so hard to reach for the team comp of G2. You need a flank from Caps or something to line a taunt on her, but it's so difficult because you also need to peel for Hansama. You need a pick. You need a crystallize. You need something to catch KC off guard. And the pick will be set up around the Elder. 3 minutes away, Baron expiring in 50 seconds. Busio tries to step forward, he has enough escape tools, but G2 can't go for more. LeBron met with a Piltover Peacemaker, and I feel that damage means war. LeBron, squishy because he's a support, but still at 3 items. Has not gone the Fimbulwinter route or the Diadem, has just sat on that tier the entire game. Broken Blade looking for the flash ross into Busio, doesn't quite land it. Hansama relentlessly pursuing KC, but so far yet to find his prey. Broken Blade on
Hans J war bei dem Botside River Fight. Schon lange her.
Needs to catch people off guard. Kana. Mortal Steel doesn't connect. Kana will just snap back to it. His soul returns to his body. think we can all take a deep breath right now, Medic. It's 2 minutes.
There's no air in this room, man. It's electric.
It's
all the oxygen is
suffocating.
sucked out by these fans.
I can't imagine how G2 is feeling right now. With all the noise going against him, it feels like the world is against him right now on this stage. Now Sama is the one to carry that burden.
Ja, Olaf ist jetzt useless. Mal sehen.
We'll see this ping pong of waves probably for about another minute or so. It's the game-ending buff. In a game that should have ended a couple of times, you have to feel. G2 now try to wrest control out of KC's hands. They'll do it with Kana on the reset. Kana 5 items, or 4.5 with a quick QSS. Can go Mercurial Scimitar next. Broken Blade sitting at 4 as well. Hansama, Dazzle, Busio just short of getting his Achilles heel there.
You see the damage from Hansama. He is looking for something. He needs to find something. He needs to play aggressively, proactively, and look to get these chunks to make it a little bit awkward in the setup of KC. Make it a little bit difficult
Flash
to
up.
walk in and control this mid wave.
The problem for KC at the moment is bot is pushed in and mid is getting pushed in by Caps, so they don't have an easy avenue actually towards the Drake. There is a singular ward behind that Dragon Pit for KC, so they could TP someone in there. They want to take the fight. We still got 40 seconds before the Elder. But KC will need to find a way to gain control of this as Hans dashes forward again. Ace in the hole doesn't really do too much damage to Caps.
Yike is looking for a flanker from the top side.
KC decides mid lane is the way to get control around here. Busio still looking for that flank. Broken Blade stepping forward, has the Crystallize.
Die haben das Cannon Minion.
Melt very quickly, and they have a cannon minion here. If Yike tanks it, Caps comes across the wins a ward just short. Yike can just tank this. Needs to get in front. Warrior Trickster to
Oh mein Gott.
and that inhibit tower is
Oh mein Gott, das ist gut.
under the power of Kalist's cannon. He takes the one.
But G2 need to hold their position here. They need to make sure Caps can catch this, but Kana catches him out.
Kana uses the QSS.
Er ist tot, oder?
Stopwatch.
Oh, stopwatch the E.
Base TP.
With the soul unbound. Meanwhile, towards
Wait.
Broken Blade caught out with the Hexagon range. TP coming in as well with the flash.
Wait, warum ist Bibi tot?
Stopwatch and Broken Blade is
Oh, Kalist ist tot. Kalist ist tot.
Needs to dash forward. He gets it. Kalist is down. And KC
Aber ich glaube, G2 verliert.
to his own devices. And those devices
Ja.
gets on the outside. So that's the GA. Yeah, who in the stopwatch?
Oder? Hans ist wieder tot. Oh mein Gott, kann er so OP, oder nicht? Oh ne, er ist nicht immune. Ist over. Oh mein Gott, wie OP ist der Orion? Ist over. Wie OP ist der Orion?
Get to the Nexus.
Holy fuck.
If you run through this Kana again, you're gonna get one shot.
So, Elder weg.
20 seconds of Broken Blade. He got caught out at the beginning of that play. I actually don't think Kana can end it, but it's gonna be the Elder for KC. This game is not over, Medic!
Top lane inhibitor tower fell to minions. The inhibitor is surely to follow as well. Kana's gonna come across. 7 seconds on Kalist. That inhib likely to fall to G2's minion.
Kalist hat noch Flash und Hans hat kein Flash mehr.
Elder, they'll wait for the respawns of Kalist. Maybe Yahoo as well. They still have 7 seconds. Is Kalist there in time on the top side to save that inhibitor? It looks like it. KC get the Elder, win the fight, but how damn close is this game?
Let's rewatch this fight, Medic. Broken Blade tries to find a pick onto Busio, but he ends up being engaged on and starts to fight. Never mind, we don't have time for that. We're gonna look
Busio looking
at the
to
drive air setup.
Justice punch out.
Elder.
Dazzle comes out, but on the back line is
Caps tot.
gets taken out the Elder as well. So good here for KC. They'll kill off Caps. The talisman for G2 now in the dirt and Baron. KC's opportunity.
I mean, G2 can't contest this. They have Elder buff and Chemtech Soul. You
Müssen schauen, dass sie die Base bekommen.
all this out. Elder still up and available for 1 minute and 45 seconds. KC, your timer starts now. You need to try to make the most out of this double buff, or we're gonna go for another Elder Medic.
42 minutes. 6 dragons, 7 with the Elder, 2 Barons. And now the question is, can G2 defend? How quickly the tables have turned here
in Paris. You can hear the songs resounding amongst the KC fans. They feel this is pretty much done for. They're dotting the I's and crossing the T's, but G2
kann nicht gut spielen, weil Vitality hat echt nicht
holding on
schlecht
to
gespielt.
that sliver of hope. That oh so precious thing that somehow they can find a fight to turn this around. The Elder halfway expired. The Baron remains for 2 minutes. The waves will crash in synergy from KC. But Kana steps back and G2 are able to clear out mid.
Yeah, it's roughly 40 seconds more of Elder. You see Kalist, he can't wait for Elder to time out. They want to end this game and they want to do it now, Medic.
The waves aren't in the best spot. The super minion's dying in the mid lane. KC don't have a minion wave here to work with.
Richtig schlecht Minions gesinkt, oder?
But Kana is going to take the top lane inhibitor tower. He gets G2 all hands back and defend the Nexus.
Elder noch 30 Sekunden.
Wave clear here is invaluable. 8 in the hole, Skewmon blocks it. Kana goes in with the Mortal Steel. Fate sealed into the backline as well. This is the engage that they need. Cosmic Radiance coming down. It hits all 5. Cap surviving.
Cap's tot.
But Caps goes down.
Er ist lost. GG.
The next time's going to fall. Kalist stepping forward. Kalist rapping forward. Kalist trying to carry it all on his shoulders. And with the help of Kana, G2 have been
Krank. GG.
Paris remains blue.
GG.